Great. Oh, these guys are
welcome in to the 2025 our 2025 coverage of the NFL Draft. Campus to Canton here. Austin Ace, Matt Bruning, Mike Valerie. Be joined by Corey Pereira here shortly. This is our fourth year, I think, doing this coverage. So to all the people checking back in, returning, thanks for choosing to listen to some of our commentary tonight as the draft unfolds. And for those first-time listeners, hopefully we provide some color, some context to all these players, because we've been watching a lot of these guys for 3 or 4 or 5 years, right, Matt? Right, Mike? I mean, that's kind of what we do. Some of them 7. That's a good point. So I mean that's kind of the angle that we come at with a lot of these things. I think, we have just 4, 5, 6, 7 years of experience watching these guys that we can hopefully discuss here with you tonight. Mike, your favorite team picking top 5. Matt, yours is as well. I mean, before we even get into kind of breaking down some of the picks here tonight, we're going to try to cover all the fantasy guys and discuss some of these other players as well. What do you hope the Patriots do here this evening?
I am praying.
Homer bandwagon fan.
I am praying to every single guy. I don't care which one has to answer my calls. That Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter fall to number 4. It won't happen, but that is the 100% best outcome that can happen.
Do you think either of them have a bong video out there that we could release? That might be your only chance at that.
Yeah, some Jarquez Hunter in there, maybe. I don't know, something like that.
Jesus, all right, Matt. Your Browns obviously pick even before.
Yeah, number
Mike's
2.
Patriots. What are you hoping they do tonight?
As long as it's not Shador, I'll be fine. As long as it's not Shador, I'll be fine. If Shador goes number 2, I'll have a Mike Valerie type freak out on here. No, I mean, all the talk is they're probably going Travis Hunter, although I just saw a lot of stuff that there's a lot of teams reaching out for them to trade. There's a lot of Browns insiders saying they think that the Browns will trade. I don't hate that either if they drop back a little bit, pick up a couple picks. They just made a trade to move up in the 5th round with Houston on day 3. So, I mean, they gave up, I think, 2 picks to get 3 or something like that. So, interested to see how that works out for them. But yeah, I mean, Tennessee, for those of you who are watching, Tennessee is now on the clock, so the draft has officially started. Yeah, I'll be interested to see what they do. I mean, obviously, we got Joe Flacco back, so that's all that matters, right? Like, we got Joe Flacco. We're going to the playoffs again with the Browns, but I'm excited to see what they do. I don't have a preference on what to do. I know you were upset about this, but they got Myles Garrett back, so that's all that matters to me.
Yeah, I thought he was going to leave. A little bummed out about that.
I'm very glad he didn't.
Yeah, so we do have Tennessee on the clock here, and they're going to milk this thing the whole way down, as they always do, even when they already know who they're going to pick. Hey, Cam Ward, is that what we're assuming here? Should we just go right into talking about Cam Ward at this point in the night?
Yeah, you want to talk about how you were the first one on him? Everyone does that in their shows.
I was not the first one on him.
I knew this guy back in Incarnate Ward.
That was what? It was probably Moxley, actually. Moxley was the first person I remember talking about him. I did not know who Cam Ward was, and he was talking about this guy coming up. I remember I took him number 1 in the program, to be exact. The program draft that year, I traded up to get the 101 spot from like 111 or 110. That was I was going to say one of the years Austin won it. I think he's won it like 3 years in a row. So, pick a year, right? But one of the years that I think I finished 10th. That was the year I think I got beat by whoever you played in the championship and won. And I traded all the way up to the 101 to take him with that first spot because Mox talked so highly of him. So
he really came on our radar because he was following his offensive coordinator to Washington State.
Yeah.
And he was, I think I tweeted out maybe a couple months ago at this point. I believe we've had 7 tier 1 non-freshmen in our freshman and supplemental guide over the past few years. He's one of them. We had him as a tier 1 player. Shador actually is one. Jaden Higgins is one. We actually have a couple of them that are we might hear all 3 of those names here tonight, certainly probably over the next couple of days here. But yeah, he was like a CFF guy with intriguing tools, but we really didn't know. I mean, this is kind of an outside possibility, right, Mike?
Yep.
Hard-hitting analysis. That's what we always go to Mike for.
Yeah, no, I honestly zoned out a little bit there. But great prospect. Good for the Titans. All that stuff. I actually do want to ask you this question. I've been asking Corey this question a lot. I don't have shows with you guys, so this is actually a new discussion for me.
Do
you guys think like every one of these quarterbacks could flop? Like we look at the class 2 years from now and be like, none of these guys worked out.
Matt, what do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, the one I think is probably the least likely to flop is Cam Ward, just because of his escapability and everything and what he's able to do in making defenders miss and kind of extending that play. But yeah, everyone else, I mean, as much as me and Austin talked on Campus Canton Live last night, and I was giving a lot of love to my boy Kyle McCord. There is not one other quarterback in this draft that I feel like super high on that I think, will end up being a solid starter for even 5, I was going to say 10 years, even 5 years. Like Cam Ward's really the one I think, just because of his escapability, would not flop. But yeah, I don't feel great about any of these. And I think it's fair to say I don't feel great about any of the quarterbacks in the next couple classes. I was talking to a Cowboys fan today who's also a Texas fan, talking about how there's no way Arch Manning doesn't lead Texas to a national championship next year. And I'm like, well, let's calm down. It's one of those, casual fans, I'll put it that way, where he just sees the last name Manning and thinks he's going to be an absolute stud. But yeah, I think there is a possibility. I just really want to point out real quick, because Mike mentioned at the start of the show, we do like to pat ourselves on the back sometimes. There was a certain website around here that was saying Will Levis was going to flop and not be good, and here we are 2 years later, he's already about to be replaced. Just saying. I don't
hot
remember
take.
what it was.
I was a hot
I don't remember
take.
what website it was. There's a lot of people pumping him up because of that real strong arm he had and the mayonnaise, but hot girlfriend too. So
replacing Malik Willis as well. I mean, like
you left him as well.
We haven't liked any of the quarterbacks that Tennessee have taken in the past few
that's
years.
true. That is very true.
Hey, the girlfriend got a modeling contract, by the way.
Did she? Not surprised.
Yeah, she did. She did.
This is the hard-hitting analysis you come for.
Commercial with Burger King for like their region.
Just in the region. I was about to say, it's like I don't watch Burger King commercials, but I'll go look it up. I didn't personally see it. I was shocked. Like early season, like week 1, week 2, when I got a DJU commercial out in my area in Virginia, and I was like, no way, this guy's got commercials out here too. Not to. Oh God, Mike, sorry.
No, the marketing for some of these college players are like insane, and
oh wow,
they suck. Some of them just suck, and we all know this. Like we all know this, but in the NIL stuff's going down right now too. It's always interesting, but why can't I get a commercial? I don't. I did just as much for FSU as DJU did.
I feel like a me looking dude should have a Burger King commercial before somebody who clearly doesn't actually eat Burger King.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was about to bring up.
Hashtag testimonials. I feel like my word should weigh a little bit heavily on the Burger King stuff.
I don't think it was Burger King. I think it was Carl's Jr. But wasn't that one of the reasons Paris Hilton got famous? There's a lot of others we don't have to dive into, but isn't that one?
Her family.
I was a little young for the Paris Hilton stuff. I had Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, and that was probably about it. I got for
my bad.
Was Paris Hilton on the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody?
No, but I'm pretty sure this character is kind of based on her. Like they kind of like the rich girl, the Tipton Hotel. Is that not like?
Oh, probably. Yeah. Sorry, I thought you were. I was like,
I guess I'm too old for the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, so I don't know. Never watched it.
Wow.
Aging myself a little bit.
Might be more your kid's speed, Matt, at this juncture.
Probably, so. Yeah. Probably.
How far behind am I, by the way, guys? I'm at 525.
I don't know. The pick's been in for a good minute here, so it's not showing the clock anymore. As it should. I'm watching on NFL Network, so I don't know. It's been.
I'm on NFL Channel. That same thing.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm on whichever one Nick Saban's on.
No,
I think it's ESPN.
Is that ESPN? Yeah, it's ESPN.
It's on ABC, but
I see Roger Goodell walking to the stage right now. If that helps, you tell.
I am very far behind.
Okay, he is now talking.
Saban's suit is
he's
that
cheering on the crowd. Oh, he just threw a finger to somebody. I'm just kidding. I'm just since I'm the only one I guess watching NFL Network. Cam Ward it is. Oh shit, my bad.
That's fine.
No, please.
It's Cam Ward. It's Cam Ward.
All right, Cam Ward, our first player off the board. I don't think there's any real surprise here.
No.
Oh boy, and no one told me that it was going to do that.
Yeah, we got to do it on the one thing.
You figure that out.
What are the weapons in Tennessee right now?
They just signed Tyler Lockett.
I saw that last night for $6 million. What else they got?
Calvin Ridley.
He's still there?
Yeah, pretty sure.
He's not. How's he doing lately? I mean, like, wait, what weapons does he have thrown to him?
What weapons is Cal? I feel
Is
like I
Cam
don't
Ward
know
throwing
what you're
to?
asking me right now.
Who is Cam Ward throwing to this year?
It's Ridley.
That's it.
Yeah.
Nah, Chig ain't anything. He's just
Yeah, Trevor
overhyped.
says Chig.
Yeah, I saw that.
Chig's a good fourth option.
Yeah.
I mean, does it really matter? What was he throwing to at Miami last year?
Restrepo, who's decent. Arroyo, who's really good when healthy.
I mean, it's a bunch of guys that are going to be like fourth round NFL draft picks or later, right? I mean, it's not like he had.
Okay, yeah, probably, but yeah, that's NFL level talent. That's better than most teams had to play. That's better than most teams' corners. So having day 3 talent for college is really good. And he also had a really good offensive line. He has so much time to play behind too. So, so many of these early first round players are just set up for failure, and that's a tale as old as time too. Like with I know Matt and you talked about Genty being a top 5 pick potentially, but it's like the offensive line is the most important thing when it comes to the running back, and every team that wants him has a poor offensive line. So it's like
that's the draft for you, right?
I mean, yeah, he's just gonna get blown up at the hole anyway. He gets 20 carries, but he gets 50 yards each game and 1 touchdown. Like,
I think he'll do okay there. I mean, what are the issues with Cam Ward? What's the downside with Cam Ward? Holds onto the ball a little bit too long, can get a little gunslingery at times when maybe he shouldn't be. I mean, I don't know. What else do you think with Cam Ward that, like, if he fails here, besides the Titans breaking him, what else happens here?
Yeah, to get the 101 next year. That's like that. What do you mean? You just said the worst case scenario. If he flops, then
what things about him would make him flop? What parts of his game?
Yeah,
is it the mental processing?
Hold on to the ball. Yeah, we haven't even seen him really be a processor, right? We went from Wazoo to Miami with a cake schedule where he had, I forget what overtime game it was, but like I counted, he had 11 seconds to the ball into the end zone. It was ridiculous. So yeah, it would be processing, which he was really untested on this whole entire year. He does have the escapability, but that's like training wheel stuff. That's first step stuff. It's like, okay, you can escape out the backfield, but you still got to find the open guy downfield while you do that.
Fair enough. All right, so Jacksonville has traded up, and Jacksonville is actually on the clock here.
Wow.
There was a lot of smoke about them trading down all week, so this is really, really interesting. They were like the name that people were saying they'll trade down. Someone will get Genty in their spot here. We think they're going Abdul Carter. We don't think they're taking a quarterback here, right? It's Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter. I mean, it's kind of got to be the direction they're going here. What do you think?
They don't have like an intermediate zone guy, right? They just have BTJ.
I think the rest of that receiver room is replaceable if there's a guy that they like enough. Yeah, put it that way. They have Gabe Davis is still there. Parker Washington. Not a lot of guys you feel great about. Yeah.
And they signed Josh Allen from Kentucky, shout out Cats, to a long-term deal, I'm pretty sure, as the edge. I don't know. Could this be Travis? Like, honestly, which way do you think you're leaning on this?
I actually think Hunter makes more sense for them.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. Can kind of they've got that young GM that just came over from the Rams. They've got some guys on the line that I think the pass rush stuff, they can maybe find somebody else. I think they're going to go Hunter here. I do. How much? So I think that, let's speculate here. What if they take Travis Hunter? How much wide receiver is Travis Hunter playing for the Jacksonville Jaguars? This has been the big question for 3 years, right?
Yeah, I think it's full time. But how much corner though? Then 50%.
The one that's always made more sense to me is that he plays more corner and then he kind of subs in and packages as a wide receiver. Like that just makes more sense to me if you want to use him both ways, and that seems to be what he wants.
Yeah.
So, Trevor asks, how many snaps of wide receiver would he play? I mean, it's going to be really interesting to see. I don't think it's sustainable long term. Essentially playing, a game and a half of 2 games worth of snaps every single week. I just, even if he is kind of a physical anomaly, I don't know. I don't know how sustainable that is for how long. Maybe a year, maybe 2 years, couple of years. That would be it. And everybody just left me.
Did you just kick me out? Someone kicked me out.
No,
it wasn't me.
You did that.
That's a lie. Lying.
I would never. I would never do that to you. All right. So the Jag, what I'm watching here, they're celebrating in the. They're
dapping each other up.
I haven't seen the official package that was exchanged here. So I'm interested to see. Matt is just messing around behind the scenes here.
Is that what
I like it. Yeah, Matt's playing around with stuff. He's trying to get those things to live.
The trade, by the way, was a 2nd, 4th, and 6th for the 5th next year's 2nd. No, sorry, 5th this year overall pick, 2nd and 4th round picks this year, and a 1st round next year.
Wow, they gave away their first next year to move 3 spots. I don't like that. I don't like that for them. I know. I guess they get their first,
2nd and 5th,
5th and 4th. That's wild. And you're not taking a quarterback.
Presumably? So they switched fourths, but they gave up their 2nd and their 1st next year.
That's way too much
for a generational player. For a generational player, Austin.
For a non-quarterback, do you think that's too much?
You forgot the word generational. Did he call for you yet? They're walking up for me. I can't wait.
Yeah, let's see what they go with here. I mean, it's got to be Hunter. I can't see them go out. What if they take a quarterback and they just replace Trevor Lawrence right off the rip?
I will throw up out of excitement. I'll just yak all over the screen out of excitement if they take not Abdul or Travis.
Man, what already a hot start to the night here. It's pretty interesting. And since Matt was the furthest ahead of us, of course, so he.
I didn't even look at it. I'm not even looking in the private chat. Thank God. So, how's he always so far ahead?
I don't know.
Is that his
streaming.
consolation prize for living in Ohio? Is that what it is?
He's in Texas.
Oh, he moved to Texas the whole time?
Matt's lived in Texas for like 25 years.
Oh.
Maybe not quite that long. It's been a very long time. I just am surprised that you didn't know that.
I think I did. That makes sense. I know these guys got to give a speech, but like, let's go, buddy. Let's go.
Eric Armstead, man of the year. What a guy.
Yeah.
What a guy.
I can never be him.
Mr. Bruning, thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
And for fixing the things.
Travis Hunter it is. We'll work on that as things are going. But I was trying to get Hunter up, but obviously congratulations to him as he dances his way onto stage.
I purposely didn't do Hunter.
I don't know the pick yet. Give me a sec.
I just said it. Were you not listening?
I don't want to hear it. To you, I'm not listening.
Okay. Matt, what do you think of this? I mean, the Browns just
freaking Travis Hunter. It's Travis Hunter.
I mean, I'm okay with it. Like, it would have been nice, I think, to have Hunter in that secondary, especially paired with Denzel Ward, the Warden, and possibly putting some. Well, I don't think he'll play that much cornerback. I think he's going to be a wide receiver, and the Browns need some playmakers. But I mean, look, they got Trevor Lawrence a playmaker. I think I was just listening to a show called Back to Devi recently, where I think wrongly both Mike Valerie and Corey Pereira were talking about how Trevor Lawrence is still it, and he's still got a chance to figure it out. I think he's pretty much shown us he's not it, but hey, they just gave him a weapon. So we'll see what happens. How much Trevor asked here in the chat, I mean, how many snaps at wide receiver would he play? I think he plays more wide receiver than he does cornerback. I think he'll be select packages on defense overall.
See, that just makes no sense to me compared to the opposite. I don't think you can just put him in packages. Like, unless you're just putting him in like dime. I mean,
I think there's certain times that they'll put him in on defense. I think for the most part, he probably plays wide receiver. You think he plays defense more often?
If you're going to try to get him playing the majority of snaps both ways, I think it has to be tilt more defensive. Yeah, I think it has to. I think it's too tough to game plan packages where you're sending Travis Hunter out there on defense and like rolling him out all the time at wide receiver. I don't know. That's just my.
Can we talk about Travis Hunter, the like potential of him like starting the new trend? Kind of like how like Mahomes started the whole trend of like all these high school quarterbacks doing the sidearm stuff. Like, are we going to see a bunch of two-way players now? Like in college, trying to do it in the NFL?
Maybe Dylan Raiola will switch to wanting to be like Travis Hunter. Scary thought.
I think you've got to be pretty special to be able to do what he did. I just don't think that we'll see enough players to be able to do that. That's just my opinion, though.
Colorado has been recruiting guys that play both ways in high school and telling them they can do it there. I know for a fact that they have been, but none of them are Travis Hunter. So,
yeah, is his girlfriend up here? We're going to see Travis Hunter's girlfriend.
Are they still together?
I'm surprised she didn't walk out in front of him. Honestly,
it's pretty cool that his dad's there.
Yeah, that was a cool story.
Yeah,
they just danced together.
Oh, did they? I saw him.
His dad was dancing right next to him, or
cool.
right in front of him before they showed him Hunter dancing.
He's got the fresh cut. He's got the fresh cut.
The first of Deion's kids to be drafted here this evening. That's big news. Big news.
Is he the only kid of Deion that goes in the first round? That's the real question.
Shiloh could go.
You think so?
I think Shedeur goes. You just can't have a. You need to have a QB in this league. People are reaching on QBs now all the time. You just need one.
Interesting.
So,
where should Travis Hunter with this landing spot go in rookie drafts? If you're in a regular dynasty league, I know C2C, CFF, all that stuff, but how high should he be the first wide receiver off the board?
Yes. Yeah, first one or two for sure. I actually had a great amount tied as my receiver one, just off of pure grades, but I think he's a special player. Obviously, you can make manufactured touches for him, and he's going to make magic with that. But I do think he also has like the makings to be an elite route runner. And he's shown some flashes of that.
He's good enough on manufactured touches that I think he's the kind of guy that like will still get that kind of volume at the next level. You know, like I think like it's like some of these guys are like I don't think he's going to get some of these bubble screens and stuff in the NFL, but I think they'll give him a couple every single game. It's an easy way to get him involved.
That's cool. I can't wait till like if he does so well and Shedeur does terrible, I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, Travis Hunter carried Shadeur's career.
Oh, that's what everyone's gonna say.
Yeah, I can't wait. Can't wait.
I prefer LeJontay Wester carried Shedeur Sanders, but to each their own. Whatever you want to. Jimmy Horn carried Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah, Did they just show us highlights against him against UCLA and Colorado State? Can we get some better plays against better competition? We
show the Stanford game from 2 years ago.
Yeah, let's do that.
Man, 1,481 total snaps, most by any player since 2018. Who played that many snaps in 2018?
Cam Scadaboo? Yeah, I don't know.
Now I'm curious. I wonder if that's just how long it's been tracked or something. It's a weird stat to bring up. All right, the Giants are on the clock and their pick is in here. We think Abdul Carter, not another offensive guy here.
I just looked up their depth chart. I was like, is there any shot? I was like, I don't know who Elijah Chapman is or so. Yeah, I don't know.
Depth chart? Because I don't know who that is either.
Yeah, that's the Giants. That's their number 2 on defensive edge. I was like, are they too deep on their edge? But they're not. They're not deep on their edge.
Is it cold there? It's in Green Bay. Everyone looks like they're wearing long sleeves, but no one's in like a huge parka or anything. So I'm assuming that the temperature is okay.
Okay, they picked Abdul.
What do we think? Any thoughts on that?
It's the right call. I think it's the right call.
Man, Dad's iced out too. What does his chain say? Does it say Abdul?
I don't know. Mine is not showing it at all.
It's too slow. I can't see it. It's too reflecting. The light's just blinding. I can't tell. It's just.
Yeah, I can't tell what it says either.
I always think the outfit choices are interesting on draft night. Like, I think they say a lot about the individual players.
Dude looks like he belongs in like a Neo music video, early 2000s. Get some of the rain in the background too, like Matrix.
Surprised you know who Neo is, Mike, after your recent Sweet Life of Zack and Cody drop reference.
I liked Pop back in the day. I really cannot. I cannot read that. They even did the close up to his chest. I couldn't even read it. Maybe I'm just dyslexic.
I have no idea what it says.
Maybe I heard he got one for each of the teams in the top 5, and he just, wherever he got drafted, he's wearing a Giants chain. I actually have no idea what it says. Still can't tell. Well, all right. Well, that puts your Patriots on the clock here, Mike. What do you think now? Your 2 guys you wanted, unfortunately, both gone.
The casuals would yell Ted McMillan, but Will Campbell's the favorite here, and I think I just want to trade back. I don't really have a strong opinion on like the offensive tackle one this year, so I would just like to get some draft capital and trade back a little bit. Maybe we let Cleveland get Shedeur Sanders early.
It's nice of you.
Trade back with them, and then we'll just take the Jacksonville Jaguars package they got. I think that's pretty fair.
That seems fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt, call your shot.
Colin. What the Patriots are going to do? No, no idea. No idea. Ted McMillan, just because I think that'll make Mike mad.
Well, you guys, be okay with it. You guys both just mentioned Ted, and obviously we're only a handful or less than a handful of picks in here, but there are rumors that he's going to fall a little bit tonight compared to where he was being mocked, even a few weeks ago, a month ago. You guys buying some of that stuff? I think he falls down out of the top 10. It kind of seems like, is possible now.
I think as a talent, he's on par with Drake London. So yeah, I think those type of guys, like the prototypical X's, they belong in like the 10 to 15 range, like the high end ones, which is what he is. Now it's not like a top heavy class this year, but yeah, I never really thought like the top 10 picks, like that's foundational pieces right there. And I don't know if you consider wide receivers like foundational. So
I mean, I think you can. I don't think Ted's good enough to be a top 10 player. I know this is a weaker draft, so maybe you get away with it. But like I wouldn't call him a top 10 quality receiver. I wouldn't have called Adunze that last year either. So don't let Kratos hear me saying that. But I don't know. I'm interested to see. I mean, because if he doesn't get taken here, the Browns probably aren't taking him. The Raiders probably aren't taking him. I think start running out of places for him to go here. So we shall see. When do we start getting into Genty watch?
Now, right now, actually.
There's a 0% chance the Patriots take Ashton Genty here, right?
No. I'm talking about for Cleveland. Our pick is in. I'm talking about for Cleveland and after.
I don't think Cleveland would take him.
What? Nick Chubb still it?
Nick Chubb's not with the team.
Oh,
they let Nick Chubb go.
Genty is.
But no, I mean, look. Don't get me wrong. Cleveland, the front office isn't exactly the best in the world, but I do not think that they would take a running back here with their first pick at 5.
What if I would love this for you guys? What if you guys just double traded back and let someone else come up here for Genty, move back another 3-4 spots? That would be so good, so masterful.
That'd be great.
I would not be mad at it at all. They're doing something right at some point. Only taken my entire life for them to do something right. So
they haven't had some picks over the past couple of years, right? Like this is the first year they've had their full
2. Is it 2 first-round picks or 3 for?
It was at least
Watson?
2.
I can't remember. I think it might have been 3. Yeah, this is the first year that they've had for Deshaun Watson a couple of years ago when they got rid of Baker.
What do you mean for who?
My bad. Yeah. I was like, were we talking about like some off-field stuff or? Like
so yeah, I mean it's been a while since they've had the full allotment of picks. So again, another reason why I'm excited to see what they do. I mean, Barry up until that point, I actually think was doing a very good job with the roster management and everything. And I don't know necessarily that was his call to bring in Deshaun Watson either. So, but we'll see. I mean, again, I think more honestly, if they trade back again, you're looking more and more likely that they probably unfortunately end up taking someone like Shedeur. because I mean now they're getting him, I guess, at a little bit better value, taking him later in the draft. I would not love it, but it is what it is, you know.
Fair enough. Yes, Mike, you can drink. Have a sip of your beverage. What are you drinking tonight?
I'm about to text the missus and see if I can get like a vodka.
You're gonna make her make you a mixed drink.
Yeah, dude, and her birthday's this week. Every week, every single year, the draft this year on her birthday, dude. It's so funny. It's terrible. And then our anniversary lines up the Senior Bowl. So
I bet she has a different word for it.
Yeah, I was about to say funny is not the word I would use.
Not the word she would use either.
Yeah, I think that's probably true.
She's my sunset. It's every day with her.
I hope that she agrees and that you're her sunset.
Yeah, she probably would say that. I had to come to grips this year. I'm getting emotional. I'm allergic to bourbon. Very upsetting.
Interesting.
Really?
Very upsetting. I have terrible seasonal allergies, which everyone should know by the podcast because I get nasally probably about half the podcasts I do.
Sounds the same all year round to me as far as
that's just insulting. Am I just a nasally person then? Is that just who I am?
Yeah, that's pretty much what we're telling you, yes.
Anyway, I'm allergic.
Matter of fact, the only time I know
that
you're dealing with allergies is because you announce it on the podcast. Like, this is my flu game for the 5th time this year.
Sounds like it. I'm sniffling, dude. I got Corey's so good at editing, but I get like 5 huge in there, and he's really good at cutting them out. It's been excellent. Anyway, real quick, I'm allergic to trees, bourbon barrels made out of oak. I just
really. So that's what the allergy is for you.
Yep.
Huh.
Yeah.
I've never heard that before.
I brought it up to my wife, and she's like, immediately was just like, I was like, oh, yeah, it's been 3 years, but I'm pretty sure I shouldn't be drinking bourbon. And then she was like, oh, it's the oak, like right away. Like it was the obvious answer. And I was like, I didn't even think about that. I was like, that's what it is.
We have a listener here who is also allergic to bourbon. He says it makes him throw up and do dumb stuff. I believe that.
That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad.
You know, someday on one of our shows, I'll tell the Colin story to end all Colin stories. Not tonight, but sometime in the future. I don't think that was a bourbon night. But
how are the Patriots going to mess up this pick? That's what we should be asking. Not who am I going to be happy with, but how are they going to mess this up?
What's worst case scenario?
The pick's in. I already know.
Oh, I just got it. Will Campbell. Okay,
yeah.
We take that.
I was about to say. I thought you were happy with that.
I am. I see the questions about him being a tackle. I don't really want a guard in the first top 4, but if that's like the worst case scenario, a franchise guard, it's not bad.
Mike, this is a little before your time. Matt, do you remember Robert Gallery?
I don't think so.
He was an Iowa offensive lineman back in a time where I think there had been a few year stretch where Iowa offensive linemen had done very well, and he was kind of the next guy up. And he had some of the similar concerns as Will Campbell in terms of arm length and some of that stuff. And he was drafted as a tackle, and the thing was like, oh, maybe he can switch to guard. He was really bad as a tackle and then kind of resuscitated his career as a guard and I think had a few pretty good years there. That's kind of what Will Campbell feels like to me as somebody who doesn't watch any offensive line and can't actually give any comps. That's kind of what he feels like to me. But he also doesn't look like he should be a NFL offensive tackle, does he?
He's a Raising Cane's fan, so that's a plus in my book.
Too baby faced. He's too baby faced. I'm not buying it.
I need him to look a little bit more woodsman like, Those are the guys like
he needs a mullet or something, yeah. Or like a huge, like really goofy looking mustache or like a big manly mountain man beard. Yeah, he looks like he doesn't even look that beefy.
But like chooses to be tame but can have an untamed side. That's what I want.
Okay. Yeah, that's I think I shaped that like a true NFL offensive lineman. Who knows? All right. So yeah, the Browns are on the clock, and of course Matt is. Oh, there he is. Yeah, Matt. I mean, officially, let's hear your guess here. What are the Browns going?
I don't know. Who's best available right now, Mike? Don't say Shador Sanders.
Ugh. Jalen Milroe, I think he's close by. I heard. Maybe Jackson Dart. Hey, people want Jackson Dart first round QB. Would that not be hilarious? Ohio kids? Or Ole Miss. He's not Ohio. My bad.
Yeah,
say it's local.
It's close enough, I guess, right? But
yeah.
Man, I don't know because I don't disagree. They don't need a wide receiver. I really don't think that they go Ashton Genty here. So
the trade back here, I think, the news I got about everyone wanting Genty. It'd be an A+ grade if they just trade back one more time. Handful more picks.
100%. I actually think that would be the smartest thing they could do. But it says the pick is in, so.
Oh, dear God. My guess is they win Shador then. I mean, the top needs are tight end quarterback. They're not going. Maybe they go Tyler Warren.
Tyler Warren,
yeah.
I wouldn't hate it. I'd like Tyler Warren over Shador if I'm being honest. So, but it's probably unfortunately going to be Shador Sanders, and I'm going to cry on the street live. So here we go.
I'm sorry if that happens to you, but it will make me feel a lot better about where the Steelers may be going.
It'll make everybody in the AFC North happy, I think.
Kind of like when we took Kenny Pickett a few years ago.
Yeah, but Mike Tomlin and that front office figured that out pretty quick. So the Browns won't. We'll be stuck with Shador for like the next 8 years.
There's no chance.
Will Levis's. Sorry.
There's no chance that they go like offensive line here. Take like Membo or one of these guys that are
the Missouri.
I would love it if they did. I don't know. I mean, like I said, the top needs according to everybody is quarterback and tight end. So I would love for them to go offensive line. I mean, obviously the offensive line has not been great over the past couple of years with some of the injuries and obviously the I was hoping that was the pick in. So Browns are taking calls for I guess they didn't. So
yeah. Wonder if they just couldn't find anything. It did feel like prime Genty trade up, trade down territory, but alas.
Will Campbell's. I'm looking at his arm length. He's 5 inches short. He's 5 inches short total.
Well, his arm measurements. The arm measurements were all over the place. I'm pretty sure he got 3 different arm measurements between Senior Bowl, Combine, and his pro day.
Well, here we go. So
because there was some sort of
still nothing on
effery.
Twitter. For sure, they'd announce on Twitter by now.
Are you trying to spoil it for yourself, Matt? Come on.
Yes, I want to know.
Just once a year.
I can pull myself off screen real quick.
Yeah, Matt can't cover his reactions at all.
Let's
go. We'll take it, baby. I mean, whatever. It's cool. I'm good with it. We're happy.
Was it Membo?
No, Mason Graham, defensive tackle. I'll take it. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, okay. Colin says they announced already.
Yeah, thanks, Colin. Thanks.
A D tackle that early? Interesting.
All right. You know what? We need help on defensive line, and I'll take not Shador. I'm okay with it. This feels I feel like I'm really hating here. Maybe I should calm down a little bit. But I'm a man of the people, Colin. What are you talking about? I love college football. What is this? Why would I not cheer for a player from that team up north? I don't understand. I don't have affiliations to any college. I don't have affiliations to any college like you do at Penn State. I'm just a man of college football. That's it.
Oh, he's got the carrot top, the broccoli top, the for real bro type of top. He's gonna hang out with Sean Watson just fine, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, that's kind of. I don't know about that, but
at least his arms look longer than Will Campbell.
He has baby arms too. Steelers are going to get the better Michigan defensive tackle later.
That's fine.
Steelers are going to take Jackson Dart.
I'd love it.
I don't think much of Jackson Dart, but I would at least be. I would have a very difficult time. I probably wouldn't watch any Steelers games this year if they took Shador. I just don't want to have to root for him. So,
so you wouldn't watch any Steelers game for a couple years then, because they're not going to get rid of Shador after 1 year. So
yeah, at least 1 or 2. I already kind of only watch a few every single year, but yeah, that would seal it for me.
I mean, you can always come over and be a Browns fan, Austin. We're welcoming to everyone. Yeah,
That just sounds like pain.
jump on board. It is, but it strengthens your resolve. It makes you, it sets the bar low. So really, there's no real other disappointments in your life. You're just kind of used to it. So when something nice happens.
If you're not with the Browns during their rebuild, then don't be with the Browns during their rebuild.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That one year that they had a few years ago.
Hey, we've had a couple good years. All right, calm down, Mike.
Mike, where's your beverage? Did your wife leave? Like, did you text her and she just like F you, I'm out, and just left that?
I brought up that she asked for a foot rub yesterday. I told her no. So
good for her. Good for her standing her ground. I was gonna say I was surprised if she wouldn't do it. I mean, again, he said, happy birthday, by the way, to Miss Valerie, and if I were her, I'd be like, it's my birthday, and you're talking on a stream to two idiots about football. Here's where you can stick that drink. So.
The Raiders pick is in. We think it's Shedeur. Him and Gino are like the same player.
I don't think that is a great comp outside of the fact that they're both black. I'm just gonna call a spade a spade. Like,
sure, yeah.
He doesn't have the arm talent that.
He also doesn't fit what Kelly likes to do either at quarterback. So.
Yeah, it's a good point. I guess you just have to ask yourself how flexible Chip Kelly is going to be at this point.
He's not. Look at what he did to Dante Moore. He's not flexible. He's always run the same offensive style everywhere he's been.
He didn't run the quarterback as much last year at Ohio State, it seemed like. He ran him some design stuff.
How much of that was Ryan Day, though? I still think it was Ryan Day.
Like forcing him to not do that? Yeah, I mean, yes, I could see that. I was going to say, because I don't think Ryan Day was having, setting these guys loose.
No, he wasn't. That's what I'm saying. Like Ryan Day was probably more the one driving we're not running Will Howard that much. I mean, it'll be interesting. What is it? Who is it? Oh man, what's his name? Antonio Pierce, right? Head coach for the Raiders?
No, he's gone. It's what's his name? It's the former Seahawks guy, Reggie Bush USC guy, Matt Carroll or Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll?
Yeah,
I did not realize that Pete Carroll was their head coach. Interesting.
We cover mostly college football here, just for anybody who's watching us try to fumble around with names for the rest of the evening.
Wow. Okay. That's what we're doing here, folks. That's what we're doing here. Okay. Cool. I'll get ready. Give me a second. Let me load it up.
Is it a bad pick? Or you think it's dumb? Is it the first dumb pick so far?
Probably. I wouldn't say it's the greatest pick, but I guess do you want me to say who it is? I mean,
no, it's just for me now. You'll get my real reaction here. Okay. That made sense. That made sense to me. Yeah. We're waiting for Austin here too.
I know who it is.
No, Austin knows who it is.
Ashton Genty. Like, who else is running there right now?
I don't think this is a great landing spot.
Nobody.
I mean, let's talk.
I don't either. That's what I'm saying.
Player first, and finally we have these player cards locked and loaded. They're going to be tweeted out on social media as well. You can see on all of them here. It has the class that they were in coming out of high school, and then kind of the ranking by the major services. I mean, we've talked about this all the time. Like, we were extremely high on Ashton Genty coming out of high school compared to some of the other places here. I don't think we ever saw a top 6 pick going, in his future. I mean, I don't think this is like a plus landing spot for him. I saw some people saying that before the draft. What do you guys think on that?
I mean, the one thing I'll say for him again is Chip Kelly will use the running back. He's not afraid to use the running backs as receivers as well, which we know Genty can't do that. It's going to be a plus side of his game, specifically for the fantasy side of things in the NFL. So I think that is going to be good for him. I mean, I could be wrong here. I don't remember the Raiders having a great offensive line. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. But I don't know. He's going to be – Mike, what does this make him? Like, in super flex drafts, he's got to be, what, pick 2 now? I would think.
At the least. I don't think there's a world, no matter where he went, that he's less than pick 2. Not because that's why I think he should go, I just think that's where the people think he's going to go. So yeah, he's picked 102 at the minimum. There's still a ton of volume here. He's still going to get like 200, 250 plus carries, plus whatever receptions, whatever dump offs Geno wants to give him, which should be a ton. So I think, for fantasy, cool.
Yeah, I mean, I just really want to point out again, as Austin mentioned, as you can see on the screen here, if you're watching on YouTube or Twitch, Twitter, we had him as our RB14 in that class, 24/7 Sports RB45 on 3, RB63. That's pretty low. We talked a lot about him on the show last night, Austin, and I did. Again, really, really good kid. I'm excited for him. Did not expect him to go top 6. So who won that bet, Mike? Was that you, right? You went under on the top 10 or 8?
Top 7, top 8? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I did win that. Corey, you're down.
Corey will be here any minute now, so you can rub that in his face, it sounds like. So, yeah, I mean, overall, I think it'll be – I do like it for the fact, like I said, with Chip Kelly being there. I think that, I don't know that he'll be an RB1 for fantasy, but with how good he was in college, I think he'll be productive enough in the NFL that it'll be interesting. And the Jets pick is in already.
Tackle?
Like gone pretty quick.
You know what? I'm just hyped for everyone to shut up about Breece Hall getting replaced by Genty now. So that's also a big plus.
Yeah, there were a lot of rumors he'd get traded here tonight. And I mean, I guess there's a lot of draft left. But yeah, obviously the marquee name off the board. Yeah, as a team, the Raiders. I mean, they didn't have anybody there. I just think.
Yeah, I think Genty can improve that.
Does this not smell like Saquon to the Giants a few years ago?
Yeah, but I mean, let's be honest. If that is though, like when Saquon was healthy, he was extremely productive though, especially from a fantasy.
And it made no difference. For the Giants. That's what I'm saying.
From our perspective, I don't care if the Raiders are good. It's more of like if Genty's going to be a good fantasy asset. If that's what we think could happen, I mean, that worked out gangbusters for Saquon from a fantasy perspective. Now, yeah, from an NFL perspective, the Giants sucked. I don't know how much of that was on Barkley though. It was probably more Eli toward the back end of his career, and then I don't remember who they brought in for the little bit of time before they moved on to Daniel Jones, which was also just a disaster. So,
did anyone believe the Zamir White hype when he was like?
No, he was terrible in college.
Yeah, I thought it was that in college too. It was cool. Yeah, like 2 good games, but it was like whatever.
Well, I think we have a 4th member of the gang joining us here.
We might.
So.
Which means I might step away for a little bit. I think it's cool that he's Canadian. I just don't want him to do it around me.
Mike's got to go create his own or make his own drink now because
that's true. Yeah, that's what it is.
Man, that's what's really happening. He's trying to sell it. It's like
I'm gonna go give my wife a piece of my mind. He's gonna be like, "I'm so sorry, I didn't
he's gonna go
last night, honey."
He's gonna go rubber feet right now. That's why he said, "I'll be back in a little bit."
Maybe.
He's gotta go get that foot rub in real quick.
All right, I'll be right back.
What a guy!
That's a good question, Colin. I don't remember who was the wide receiver one on the Giants when Saquon was a rookie. Was that still Odell was still there? He might have been injured through a lot of that.
Yeah, was he still Odell at that point?
I don't remember. Because I think Victor Cruz was gone at that point as well.
Yeah, long gone, I think.
Yeah,
Odell was definitely still there, and his last kind of big year there was 2019. So his first 3 years were his biggest years, and then he did have just over 1,000 yards in 2018 before he left. So I guess he would have nominally been their wide receiver one.
Yeah.
But alas.
What are we thinking with the Jets here?
Offensive line.
Makes sense. Who do they this is probably gonna be who do they bring in a quarterback?
Who?
I forgot.
The Jets? They got Justin Fields.
The Jets. Justin Fields. That's right. Okay. Leading receiver that year was Odell. God, I still love Odell. We'll never not love Odell Beckham Jr.
Yeah, I don't know. Somebody said, "I'd argue Raiders have better weapons than Giants did with Saquon." Did they sign somebody in free agency that I'm forgetting about? Because it's Jacoby Myers, Brock Bowers, and then like a bunch of just poop?
That's a good question. I don't remember who they brought in. Oh,
I don't remember them signing anybody else, so could be wrong. All right, let's welcome in back to Debbie host, everybody's favorite Canadian.
Oh yeah,
Corey Pereira.
The only Canadian half of you guys probably know, but I don't know, I'm not sure if that's true. Do you guys actually have any Canadian friends outside of me?
I do.
Do you?
Volume
Okay.
Pigs.
Fair enough. Oh yeah, I guess.
Yeah, volume pick. Yeah, there we go. No, I was just gonna.
That's
I was
cheating.
just gonna go.
That's
Yeah,
cheating.
Timmy.
Do they have to be my friend?
So let's see here.
I know Canadians. Justin Trudeau.
Nobody likes him over here.
Jacoby Myers.
I don't know. People from Schitt's
That's a good
Creek.
question.
People from Schitt's Creek, yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Look at it.
Just think of Canadian TV shows, yeah.
What's up,
But
Corey?
I'm just as bad with like the American side, anyways. Like, don't ask me where anywhere is. I have no idea where you guys are, like geography wise. You guys will be like, he's gonna head over to the west, and I'm like,
Colin, I would.
I'm pretty close to Maryland.
I really want to know who
Pretty
Colin
close.
is talking about, because outside of Bowers, what is it? Are we talking about Jacoby Myers as the next best weapon on the team? I don't know that either one of those matches up to what Odell was with the Giants when Saquon was there. So I kind of disagree with the Raiders have better weapons than the Giants did when Saquon got there.
Who knows? All right, Corey, any thoughts on the picks that have happened here so far? We just got Armand Membo in here for the Jets. The surprising trade up, Cam Ward #1, Genty to the Raiders. I don't know. What tell us about what you've seen so far here. And he's muted.
Sorry, I was muted there. But no, Cam Ward being #1 from where we started with him, like when we kind of hopped in on him early there from Incarnate Ward and then coming all the way up to where he is today, like it's kind of crazy that it actually worked out that way. The Travis Hunter thing is kind of interesting because like you can think of them almost like the LSU offense of that year, right? With Brian Thomas on the outside, and now Travis Hunter kind of fits into like what Malik Neighbors could kind of do in the same way in that offense, like work some of the underneath stuff, work some of the intermediate stuff as well as be like a downfield threat as well. So I kind of like what they're building there. I'm still in on Trevor Lawrence. I know he's had a couple of bad years. I hope as college guys, we're not holding our priors a lot on Trevor Lawrence, but I really do think
you guys are
back. Yeah, we might be, but I think this is all the right steps in the right direction for him to kind of have a bounce back here. And then Genty going to the Raiders, I mean, he's going to get fed there. I mean, that's all you really want with your running back, especially in fantasy, just an opportunity. And he's got it there with the Raiders. I mean, I've been on record being that I'm not the hugest Genty fan. I guess I have more questions than most people do, but you can't deny the opportunity he's going to get going here with the Raiders in the top 10. I mean, I even made a bet with Mike that I thought he was going to fall to the top 10, and clearly I'm wrong, so I'm just a hater.
Why do you hate Ashton Genty? What did he do to you? I
don't hate him. I actually think that he did improve quite a bit in this last year, and I probably didn't give him enough credit for what he was doing. Probably held my priors a bit off from what I saw earlier on film, but yeah, I don't know. For this year, some of the things that you saw on tape, I thought kind of reminded me, I don't know, you could say like Dalvin Cookish, the way he was kind of like evasive in the open field. I still don't think he's like super, has a super high top end gear. I think he is shiftier in shorter areas than I gave him credit for. I thought he just invited contact a lot. And I was worried about how that was going to translate to the next level, especially as a guy who's not the biggest guy. I mean, 211 was a great size he ended up coming in at, but I felt like he didn't do a lot to evade it at the next, when defenders would try to get him. So I was worried about how that was going to work with NFL athletes, NFL talent, like the best of the best, plus the level of competition, how that was really going to end up working out for him. But I'm still intrigued to see how exactly that's going to work out for him, because that's it. That's his thing. He loves to be the tackle breaking monster. Is he going to be like the next Marshawn Lynch? I don't know. The way people are hyping him up, he better be that. He better be the next Hall of Fame running back, because a lot of people are going to be disappointed if he isn't.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I think.
Yeah. I mean,
well said.
I think he showed well, though, against Oregon and Penn State in the playoffs. So, I mean, when you talk about the level of competition, granted, I get what you're saying. It's like he didn't have to do that over his entire career.
Right.
Very
that's more
small
of a
sample
thing,
size with with those 2 games, but he did play well in those. I mean, yeah, it's going to be interesting. And I agree. We actually talked about that on Campus to Canton Live last night. I brought up what you guys were kind of talking about with him, and that if he doesn't end up as a Hall of Fame running back, like, people are going to be disappointed, which I think is completely unfair to kind of throw on that kid right now. But it's going to be interesting. I mean, like we were talking about with Mike, Corey, do you think now with him going, I mean, 6th pick in the draft, only really, I guess, depending on where you think Hunter's going to end up playing, only 2 possible offensive players off the board right now, and Cam Ward and Ashton Genty. Is Genty kind of locked in as the 1.2 for you in rookie drafts?
Yeah, probably. I mean, you could probably flirt with 1.12, but I mean, you have to consider like positional value too. And I think a lot of the time, if you are at a guy at like the top of the draft, you're likely not in a position where you're challenging right away unless you trade it up or something like that. In a lot of cases, like going with like the quarterback and the longer thing or the longer lasting asset is probably the right way. But I mean, you could still take Genty. You can end up flipping them through the year. I could see the argument for either of the guys at the top of the draft here between the 2 of them.
All right. Well,
the Panthers are fairly excited about their pick.
That could mean anything.
Was Mike actually happy about his Patriots pick so far?
He was.
You know what?
Happy
It's funny
in the sense that it could have been bad, and it was at least okay. So
yeah,
he was relieved.
Here's the funny thing about that. He was happy at the moment, and then immediately started trashing him like a minute later. It's like, he's got baby hands and baby arms, and I don't even know if he's going to be able to block anyone. It's like, all right.
I didn't want to look it up, bro. I didn't want to look it up till it's official. I didn't want to look it up.
That was the shortest foot rib I've ever heard of.
I didn't do it. I just didn't do it. I just made my own drink, and it tastes like stuff I'd make in college, so it's not great. I know the pick. This is a conversation topic for us.
The real go-to drink would have been vodka and just Mio, right? Mixed in with it, or like some equivalent.
No. I was part of the era that was like, let's throw Skittles in here and let it sit for a day, or like, stuff like that.
I
Burnett's era.
You can't just let alcohol sit around for a day. It would have been gone in our house. I don't know.
Dorm. It's a dorm. It's a dorm. Can I ruin this pick yet, or what's up?
Yeah.
Is it a Kentucky guy?
No, he goes to Arizona.
Ted McMillan. Interesting. Okay.
Yep. They finally fired their wide receiver Sky department and got some real talent.
Wow.
So I don't know who's going to pick Trey Harris now, because that was going to be their pick in the second. So.
I mean, let's not count him out. Let's not count him out
yet.
That's surprising to me. They've spent a lot of capital on the wide receiver position over the past few years and really haven't been able to make it work. This kind of kills the Coker stands, right? I believe they call themselves the Cokeheads.
Yes. Yeah. No, I was thinking about that. That's like one of those players that's like, me and Corey were talking about like Chase Brown, the running back for the Bengals. Like, his value, Coker in this case, is all predicated on if he gets replaced or not. Well,
I think he just got replaced.
Yes, Colin.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. What?
I think I'm confused. They
What?
finally went with the guy with the strong analytical profile, other than these guys who are always the breakouts like the Mingo and the Leggett and whatever. They finally went with a guy who was a little bit better analytically.
They kept finding Why we throw this one up?
We didn't like him. We'll admit when we were wrong on guys too. We didn't like Ted McMillan coming out of high school.
I had him at 20 flat. I'm pretty sure. So I'm also there.
Early on, I felt like his comparison for us, like the one I ran with anyways as an upside comparison, was like a Kenny Golladay. That's what I thought like he was going to be at the next level in a sense, like that there wasn't going to be a lot of fluidity to his game, separation to the game. And it's hard to say if there actually is, but he's way more of a fluid mover than I ever gave him credit for, especially after the catch. I mean, this is a guy who was like one behind Luther Burden for the lead in missed tackles for us as a wide receiver, which is like kind of unheard of. You don't even hear a lot of wide receivers hitting like the high 20s. And for a guy of like his size, to be able to move around like that, I thought he was more complete than we gave him credit for early on. It was a development process. We saw him kind of develop through his years, and he steadily climbed for us from this wide receiver 27.
I mean, I can also say we didn't like the landing spot at the time. Arizona hadn't been good in a long time. We factor a landing spot into our rankings. I think he's definitely improved. He was fairly raw coming out of high school. I thought he looked kind of clunky, a lot of wasted movement, a lot of extra steps out of breaks, And I think you can only fix so much of that at his height. But yeah, I mean, I think, he's a guy that obviously in hindsight we were too low on. I actually think I did about 25 of these cards here, or, I did a bunch of them. Colin did a bunch of them too, but I think he's the only one here tonight that like we were way lower like than we should have been on him. I think everyone else, we were at least kind of in the ballpark. So yeah. Well, then we're
It's all right. It's all right to be to be wrong every once in a while, Mike. If it makes you feel any better, here you go. We'll just do this real quick. But then if you guys forgot, we did have Ashton Genty all the way up at RB14 while 24/7 Sports had him at 45 on 306.
Suck it.
Yeah, it's all right. Austin's wrong every once in a while. It is what it is. I'm pretty sure the rest of us on the recruiting team.
We'll never forget Jaden Wally, Austin. We'll never.
Yeah, I had him at 80, and so it really brought his average down. Yes, Big Jaden Wally guy. He's still, I'm still waiting for him to break out somewhere, and so I can hit you guys with the never wrong.
Never wrong, just early. Exactly.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Oh man.
Wide receiver 27 isn't that bad. There's still like reasonable room to climb there from 27 to like a higher. Whatever, like early teens, whatever. I know he climbed all the way to wide receiver 1 here, but that's left him room at least.
Wide receiver 27 is still draftable. There's about 30 wide receivers, 35 every year drafted. So that's still draftable.
Thank you, Mike. All right. Saints pick is in already. Quarterback?
Are they taking the quarterback?
Oh my gosh. Shador on Bourbon Street? That'd be crazy.
Or Jackson Dart?
No, I guess it could be Dart.
Like you're already up in our competition, I think. He went.
Yeah,
he was bragging about it when you weren't here.
Are you keeping track of that? Are you highlighting it or?
No. He only brags when he's winning, and then like when he loses, you don't even hear from him. He's posting all over the internet.
Don't lose.
He's winning, and then you don't hear from him at all when he loses.
I don't know. I don't even know what you're talking about.
You're lucky I'm Canadian. I don't rub it in as much as I probably should.
All right.
Ted looks just like his dad. Like he can never disown his dad. He looks just like him.
He does look just like him. Interesting.
Do you have this pick already, Mike?
Oh no, I was on my phone. That's why I knew that one earlier. So I'm doing my best to not be on my phone.
Smart way to do it. I have the draft playing on my phone, so.
Oh, then you'll know about 5 minutes for everybody else then.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not seeing it on Twitter yet, but I didn't see the Browns pick before it was announced either, so.
If he isn't picked here, then he falls, right? Out of Matt, Chicago, San
unless
Fran,
somebody
Dallas,
trades up.
Miami. Yeah, but why would you need to at that point?
Take him, but
I know
Miami else trading up.
I know Miami has a lot of issues. Would it not potentially make sense to take a guy to back up Tua? We don't know how much longer he has left. Is that?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think they're going to, but
no, they didn't. The pick's in. I mean, they've announced it.
Kelvin Banks tackle.
Kelvin Banks, from Texas.
Good pick. Good pick. I like that. I
just keep praying that someone will take Shador so the Steelers don't have to make that decision.
You got a little bit of time. I mean, let's look. Chicago's not. San Francisco's probably not. Dallas could be one. Jerry Jones. Jerry.
They
not saying they need.
No.
They don't need a quarterback. They got Joe Milton.
Please. I mean, obviously, Indy doesn't. Atlanta. Maybe Atlanta will do it again. Maybe they'll just blow all our minds and go quarterback again and just make it a competition. That'll send. Colin will actually get on the draft show if that happens because he will be so upset. I mean, that's really it that I can see. Maybe Seattle.
That poor baby getting shaken around in the front row there. Jeez.
You gotta, yeah. God, I would love to see it. Here's the thing. I'm actually rooting for the Steelers to take Shador because, Austin, you are always just so level-headed on shows, and I feel like you'll remove yourself before that happens, I'm sure, but that'll be the one time at least Mike and Corey can watch you in the background just absolutely lose your cool.
I will try to hold it together.
And we'll all be laughing.
I will try to hold it together. I can't make any promises, but I will try to hold it together.
If he doesn't go
Austin. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, if he doesn't go to Pittsburgh, like, he probably he won't fall out of the first round. Someone will trade up, but he's gonna go late at that point, right?
I don't know.
There's no need to at that point, unless you want the 5th round option. I would say.
I think a lot of teams value that with quarterbacks, though, right? Still, I believe.
I guess it's so hard to figure out what the NFL is going to do on a year-to-year basis with quarterbacks. Because, like, really, all it does take is one team. But, like, sometimes you see, like, these years where they'll take, like, 8 guys in the first 40 picks, and then the next year the pendulum totally swings the other way because they're like, yeah, we effed up. 6 of these guys suck. And then you get, like, one guy in the top 40, and then it swings back the other way. There's no rhyme or reason to how they do these things on a yearly basis. I don't know. All right, Bears are on the clock. It was assumed they wanted Genty. Obviously, Genty's not there anymore.
Looks like they're about
They
to
don't really
announce
need
it.
anything offensively.
No trades besides the one. Is that not weird for a class not strong at the top?
I'm surprised Browns didn't go down again, but
That's what we were saying was ideal. It was so good.
Yeah. There was a lot of stuff on Twitter saying they were trying to, and they just couldn't get anybody else to, I guess, take whatever they were offering.
Let me get my hot take in here before they actually announce it. Tyler Warren.
Is that 'cause you
Chicago?
like Tyler Warren?
Hot take.
do you feel like they need it? No, you're just hoping that.
I just might be able to say about Cole Kmet. He's very average. He's very average. Let's be real here. And now we need the Kyle Pitts crowd to come to grips too. So those guys need to get a grip.
Him, maybe Dallas would be a spot for a tight end. No, they wouldn't. They have Ferguson. I forgot. No, they're fine.
Corey, you missed this, but Matt jumped down our throats about Trevor from the Jags
because he
thinks we're just wrong about that.
Yeah, I know. I mentioned it a little bit while you were gone there, but yeah, no. I'm still in the belief. I think he can bounce back.
It was here's the great part, and what I love about what Corey said about that is he was like, maybe I'm still holding on to my priors, and then he admitted to holding on to his priors about somebody else right after that. So it's like, oh, maybe you're still doing that with Trevor as well, you know? I mean, look, I don't think Trevor's honestly bad. I think some of that is just, you know, he was billed again to be like, you know, he was touchdown Jesus at one point. Like he was the guy who was supposed to like save the franchise. And I just don't think he's going to do that for the Jaguars. I think he's a good like middling quarterback. Like he's not elite, which I think a lot of people expected. In fairness, because of what he did in college.
Okay.
There's been a lot of poor situations. He's dealt with his own fair share of injuries too, though. Like it's hard to. I mean, I know you're making excuses at that point, but I mean, it'd be nice to actually say, okay, he's played 2 years and he hasn't improved at all since 2 years. It's like every year there's been something with him. So it's like I feel like I keep giving him breaks a little bit when it comes to that. So I guess I'm still not completely out yet. But if he gets me a year now, they've set this up for him with all these weapons. If it's downhill still from here, then I got to start pulling the plug.
All right, we're joined now by Mr. Matthew Fox, our NFL writer, correspondent, man that wears many hats here at Campus to Canton. Matt, first off, if somebody used your show link earlier, that was Mr. Bruning. You can blame him for that. We apologize. But thank you for hopping on here with us tonight.
If you didn't see the message in the Slack, that was my bad. That was my fault.
Oh, no, I've been making dinner and stuff. I had to go watch a horror movie to get ready for my cinema show.
Oh, you finally saw Minecraft?
That was a horror. I saw that with a lot of 13-year-olds who were much more into it than I was.
I heard those theater experiences were crazy. Did you see it in person, like in the theater?
Yes, I went to an 8 p.m. on the Saturday night it opened because I thought all the kids will be asleep by then. I was gravely mistaken.
That's prime tailgate time. That's when I tailgate movies.
Gravely mistaken. So yes, I saw it the weekend it came out, and then today I was watching Until Dawn.
All right.
Which I guess is based on a PlayStation game that I've never played.
It is, yes, it is. It's based on the game, yes.
Wait, what movie?
Until Dawn. It's literally the name of the game is Until Dawn. It's
probably before Mike's time.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely came out after The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, but, hey, Mike's kind of all over the place with his Neo references earlier. I'm surprised. I think he mentioned Genuine earlier as well, so
okay, Quick story. I was like 10 and my grandma called me. She was like, asked me when my birthday. I didn't know. And she's like, do you want a PlayStation? And in my mind, I thought she was talking about like a room in the house where I could play.
You were a dumb kid, huh?
I didn't know what video games was until I was 13. And then
I didn't want to be mean, but
I don't know. I didn't get there. So I was upset after I found out what it really was.
Did you ever get that PlayStation?
Nope.
We've got someone to talk about.
Oh, they did take a tight end, but not the
great idea.
Not Tyler Warren.
The Bears are gonna bear.
Great idea. Wrong
they are.
Oh, man.
Well, I mean, they said some people had Loveland above Warren. They said some teams had him higher too. So
look at that 90th percentile star score.
That is not what that says.
60th percentile not star score.
Look, he's got those Skittle drinks going on right now, Austin. Cut him some slack.
No, I lined you guys up for that because clearly I don't like Colson Loveland. If you guys heard our last show, me and Corey had him as tight end 3. Here he is, tight end 1 drafted. He's going to join the names of like Irv Smith, Dalton Kincaid.
Irv Smith didn't go that early though.
No, but they're tight end 1, so they're overhyped and they disappoint.
I heard some rumors that the shoulder stuff was considered pretty serious by some teams. I obviously guess the Bears passed him physically. That's interesting. Had you heard any of that? Any of you guys?
I heard some rumors about that, but then you even look back at like his game log. He's missed like a handful of games over his entire career since like being a freshman in high school. It's hard to find like where this would have came from, unless it's some kind of serious underlying thing.
No, he was wearing like an enormous harness. Like for the entire year this year, like this huge thing on his shoulder, I'm pretty sure underneath his jersey or whatever.
I feel like they like isn't that the same shit that like Rob Gronkowski wore for like his entire career though?
Gronk's was an elbow and back thing, right? I don't think his was a shoulder or like a tricep thing for him. I don't really know. I'm not a doctor.
I wasn't sure if at some point it just becomes he wants to look cooler, if it's actually doing something at some point. But I guess if there was some seriousness behind like the shoulder or something like that, I just hadn't seen anything until the combine stuff came out or the rumors after the combine.
Yeah,
dude, his all-time stats is like less than 1,500, and they're like that's a record for Michigan or whatever.
Michigan's offensive records outside of rush yards are all hilarious.
Yeah. And I posted says Max Prosmer. Some of these, they're terrible when you look at them in hindsight.
Yeah. Matt, did you want him for your Bears? I know there were some strong rumors that he was a potential target, or not your Bears. Your Broncos. There were some rumors that they wanted him.
Well, I figured that they had moved off. I mean, I would have liked him just fine. I would like that better than Evan Ingram, but after you spent that much money to get a guy who will probably play 5 games, I mean, what else can you do? The Broncos stay winning. But I think the one that's going to take the biggest hit for this is Cole Kmet, Mr. I show up 3 games a year, even though we play 17.
Do you think this is a signal that they're going to try to get out of his contract? Like not this year, obviously, but I don't know like what his.
There was a lot of talk that with Ben Johnson, they wanted to run 2 tight end sets. So, they can let him block out there.
It looks like after 2025, he has a potential out, would have result in about $3.2 million in dead cap and would save them, about $8 million each of the next couple of years. So, if they want to, that's at least an option there.
And I don't think he was taken by the GM they have now either. Because hasn't he been there for a while?
Yeah. So there we go. Jason go blue. What do you guys think Jason roots for?
If you guys watched a little cut up of Colson Loveland as a kid growing up, he had like a Georgia shirt on. He had a Cali hat on. I was like, this guy didn't want anything to do with Michigan growing up.
And yet, here we are. All right. So 49ers are up here. I don't know. We figure this is a pick that's meaningful for us. I'm not sure they're going any sort of offensive skill guy here after Pearsall early last year, and
where they take Shedeur Sanders just to throw everyone.
I mean,
if you work there,
if you don't want to pay Brock Purdy and you think your system can make any quarterback work, like, is that the dumbest thing in the world?
No.
I mean, I wouldn't do it, but
he has the quarterback he always wanted. He signed Mac Jones.
Yeah, I'm sure they're grabbing. Did they sign Mac Jones?
He did.
They did. He's probably sitting there behind scenes, never wrong, just early.
I mean, the 49ers would be well served to work on their offensive line or one of the dozen or so defensive players that they hemorrhaged this offseason because they have no money.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know, I mean, has anyone seen the early leak of the pick yet?
I
have not yet.
Are you asking me to look?
I'm pulling up. Let's see.
Nope.
Good radio, everybody. Good radio. Corey, you've been quiet. Any thoughts on the Loveland stuff? I mean,
yeah, no, I had Warren first. I just think there's more ways that Tyler Warren can affect a game, but I understand maybe people saying that Loveland is more of like a traditional tight end in a lot of senses. He does have some like okay movement skills to him. I was never like overly sold. I think, you know, they compared him to Tyler Eifert on the draft show that over here. And I think some of that even lines up with what I kind of think of like what his career arc could be. I think he could be like better for an NFL team than he is for someone who is for our fantasy team. Like, I just think Warren could be just a multi-dimensional threat for an offense. And not to say that he is like Bowers, but he did do a lot of the same stuff for Penn State. I mean, for Penn State last year. You know, and he's like a 6'6", 245 pounds. So I like the makeup better with him to be a potential fantasy asset, but I still think Loveland could be a long-standing asset for you as a tight end and a fantasy option. But I think I'd still be on the lookout here for where Warren's going to go and potentially be in on him more.
Well, the Colts have been locked in on a tight end, and the only question I would have about that is they have 37 wide receivers and no quarterbacks. So
yeah. That is not the greatest spot. That's for sure.
I was hoping Warren was going to go to the Jets because I thought he could easily be their number 2 passing game option behind Garrett Wilson, because I don't think that much of Josh Reynolds or Alan Lazard as their other receivers.
It's a good call.
But
yeah. I hate all the different stuff they do in between picks. It's so, I don't know.
Yeah, I hate seeing the Marine too, Austin. I hate our armed forces. It's terrible.
We just lost 100 live viewers. I don't know why.
I served everyone. But anyway, you know, it's cool.
It does seem like they're taking forever, even after the graphic at the bottom changes, says the pick is in, and then, you know.
I actually have no idea where you're going to go this direction, so I'm pretty pumped about this pick.
Michael Williams, Georgia, edge.
Well, I mean, that would make sense. They lost a lot of defenders.
They did, yeah.
And they got Robert Saleh back, so.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Got to resuscitate that career.
I mean, I don't think he was a terrible coach. I think he got saddled with a egomaniacal waste of space at quarterback.
So Dallas has got to be a potential spot here for somebody that matters to us.
Potentially. I know there was some Matthew Golden smoke. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah.
I would hate that, but it makes sense.
I still think they need to take a running back.
They would literally move him to
all the way up here.
Position.
Their offense has been, well, actually, if they were really smart, they would take an offensive lineman, because I'm pretty sure the four of us could block better than some of the people they have right now.
I don't think Dallas takes a wide receiver after trading for Mingo. Like, I feel like that'd be too early for them to like admit
they're trading for Mingo. I don't think that's the reason for anything.
I'm saying that would be amazing.
You can get
trading for Mingo, like if they just draft a wide receiver here.
I mean, there's blue chip, and then how many colors do you have to go down the spectrum to find the color for Mingo? If you can find a fuchsia chip,
belts.
if you can find a fuchsia chip prospect like Jonathan Mingo.
I guess, but like Golden does make sense. They like to run like a route runner, a speed option, possession guy. Mingo's obviously the possession guy, and CD's a route runner. Yeah. So if they do grab Golden, then they're fully going to use him as a speed option for their offense, which I don't like. I think he has better potential than that.
I'd still be kind of shocked to see Golden go this high.
I mean, there was one mock draft I saw that had Jack Beck going at 10 to the Bears. So
yeah, it was like CBS or something. I remember. I read that one too. Yeah.
I think somebody posted in the Discord. That was good for a laugh.
It would be a very Jerry Jones pick to pick a guy who ran fast at the combine, who pretty much has like 5 games to go off of on his career that we're like banking on for his to translate to the NFL. I mean, we like him, but I mean, it's definitely a Jerry pick to pick this guy at 12. I feel like.
Oh,
Jerry seems happy.
Good job, Dallas. Good job.
Tyler Booker, guard.
They took Tyler Booker, a guard. As I mentioned, they don't have the greatest line in the world.
A guard this early though?
Well, he resisted his better nature, which would be to take wide receiver, running back, a punter, another quarterback.
Sorry. Look at that helmet on that guy. You guys think Jahdae Barron for Miami corner?
I was hoping some way he falls to Minnesota, to be honest. But
he's more of like one of those like safety slot kind of hybrid guys, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
Who's on the board now? Who's 13?
I got Nick Saban on TV.
Miami.
Oh.
They can't be going any kind of skill position.
They do. Miami does. I mean, Miami does need a corner because they're potentially trying to trade Jalen Ramsey now.
Yeah, I saw that.
They would not be mistaken to take a wide receiver so that they can release Tyreek Hill.
This video of Tyler Booker running through the back hall up to the stage is hilarious.
Dude, he's a character. He's dancing too. Like that's the locker room guy I've ever seen one.
Does he fit what Dallas does? Like, do they just run like, pretty much just?
Does anyone know what Dallas does?
I would be lying if I said that I knew.
They have a brand new coach who is nominally their offensive coordinator, even though Mike McCarthy ran the scheme and called all the plays. So,
okay.
Their offense is probably going to be snap it. Hope they can keep Dak upright long enough that he can throw a YOLO ball to CeeDee Lamb and just pray that he catches it.
Hey, I've heard worse strategies. Whatever Cleveland did last year.
Because their current backfield is Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders. Their current wide receiver depth chart outside of Lamb is Jalen Tolbert and Jonathan Mingo, unironically, as their next two best wide receivers. And they still have Ferguson at tight end.
Man, it's pretty crazy how poorly they've drafted over the past.
Well, and their cap situation is horrendous, so they haven't been able to be active in free agency the last 2 years outside of a few low money deals because they have everything tied up, and they still haven't managed to re-sign Micah Parsons. They managed to alienate him, but they haven't managed to re-sign him. So all these are great signs.
Do you think they're gonna be better off when Jerry's gone, or do you think his kids are dumber?
You mean the kids that like pass him glasses and help him comb his hair in the press box? That's
else.
Yeah.
But they're being good kids.
I don't think they'll be better off. But you never know.
Yeah. All right. The chat seems to think that they reached bad, so I don't hate it.
Yeah. I think it's going to be – there's going to be a lot of – I think there's going to be a lot of picks that are kind of like out of left field in this kind of draft. People are talking about it leading up all the way to the draft. There is not really a set order, especially with like very few what people think are elite blue chip prospects in this draft. Like it's a lot of guys that are just like there's not a lot of difference from like 12 to 24, which is what you're hearing a lot of, or like 24 to 40. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people are saying there's a lot of players that are similar in that spectrum. So I think we could see a lot of things all over the place, guys just having an affinity for somebody or reaching on somebody a little bit. And I'm not surprised the first one comes from Dallas a little bit, at least. I mean, I think there's going to be an emphasis to kind of get back to the running game a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if they pick another running back later on in this draft, which we're all kind of expecting from them, and try to take some pressure off Dak a little bit, kind of having to be the hero, and Lamb as well as the only real option there in the receiving game too. So I don't hate like the direction of the pick.
Mr. Bruning?
I mean, I think the only reason Dallas will be better off once Jerry leaves, I think his kids will be smart enough to not try and run the whole organization and probably hire an actual general manager. And if they do that, I think the Cowboys will be better off. That's the only reason I say that. I think they will maybe not take like a full step back, but I wonder if maybe they don't try to run everything the way Jerry does. And if they bring in an actual GM, maybe make some better decisions. Because, I mean, the thing is, they've had the talent, right? It's just some bad draft moves here and there. Obviously, if I'm being honest, I think a big problem they've had is Mike McCarthy being their head coach. I've said from the beginning, I thought that was a horrible hire. They need to kind of get with the times on that one as well. As they've got the talent on the team to just have a coach who's not coaching in the right era anymore. So I think that they probably could improve. As much as I'd hate that, because I hate living in Texas, and that's all everybody talks about, and they suck every year.
So they should bring in Jim Nagy for GM?
You know, why not? He's going to have the experience after doing what he's doing at Oklahoma. You know, brought in Jade Knott.
Yeah.
I think
it's
before McCarthy, they had the talent, but the last couple of years with their salary cap situation, if you looked at their roster top to bottom, their line degraded, both from retirements due to injuries and letting people go and people getting old. They have no great shakes in the backfield other than CeeDee Lamb. They don't have any great receivers. I mean, Jake Ferguson, I like him fine as a tight end, but he is their second best pass catching option unless you believe Jalen Tolbert is the real deal. Last year, at least, they had Brandon Cooks, who at one point in time was an NFL receiver, but now he's in New Orleans. They haven't been able to replace it. They have zero cap space if they don't get things in the draft, and they missed on a couple of linemen that they took in the draft, which has further set their offensive line back. They've lost a lot of defensive players. They were kind of holding together because they had Dan Quinn morphing that defense, but not only did he go to Washington, he took several defensive players with him. And they have all that money tied up in Dak, CeeDee Lamb, and pretty soon Micah Parsons. They need some home runs.
It's pretty great. I think it's almost impossible to be as bad at running back as they were from like a talent perspective last year. Like running backs basically just fall off of trees, and it's like this is what you're trotting out there. Them and the Raiders both. It's just like I don't know how you end up in that kind of situation where that's the best running back that you can roll out there.
Well, they were hoping that Ezekiel Elliott would still have some magic left because that was their big move last offseason was to get him, and they thought that would at least make Dak happier because they're good friends. But he had nothing left. It makes it seem amazing what the Patriots did the year before with him in the backfield because he looked like he could still run in the backfield. He looked like he was terrible. He looked like he had nothing left last year in Dallas.
Let's go Patriots. We make the nothing look like, something. 5 cents on the dollar.
Yeah, I mean, didn't he? I think he ran for 900 yards or 800 and something yards that year in 23 for New England.
I don't know if it was quite that much, but he was usable for sure. He was definitely usable. Also, Phil Yates' haircut, very mature. This guy grew up like
right in front of our eyes.
He really did. Yeah, Matthew Berry, I guess, was really holding him back.
So. Didn't Dowdle have over like 1,000 scrimmage yards last year too? I mean, I know 7.
Yeah, he did. He did, and then he went to Carolina.
Yeah.
Oof. Kenneth Grant.
That's a bummer.
Oh, it's getting more and more likely. I'm really starting to get excited now all of a sudden. Doris Sanders, Pittsburgh Steelers franchise quarterback. Come on down.
I can't believe we're going to lose that side of the bet to Corey.
We're two more picks away, but I don't see why anybody would trade ahead here to get him.
At this point, why trade up for him? Who's going to do it? LA, the Rams, maybe that's it. Everybody else has a quarterback.
Do you think Sanders is going to be good?
No.
Okay.
We said from the beginning.
I think Bo Nix is going to be good either. So
we said from the beginning that we thought he was a second round.
Neither did I.
Yeah. I mean, I've been running with the Geno Smith comparison, and I think that could easily be the same kind of career arc for him, like in a sense, like coming in, having to wait a little bit, and then getting a chance.
Say it.
Yeah,
Austin hates that comp, by the way. Real quick though, the picture of Kenneth Grant holding a football looks like a guy that never held a football in his entire life.
Well, he's a defensive tackle.
He's a defensive tackle. He probably wasn't the first time. He's like, what?
He's like, I hold his laces up. He had to lace it down, like just on the opposite side.
Hey, Austin, why don't you tell us about your thoughts on the Shedeur Sanders to Geno Smith comp?
I don't like it.
That's not what you said to Mike earlier.
I said it feels like people are making that comp because they're both black.
Oh.
I don't think Shedeur's arm is like anywhere close to Geno's. I think Geno has a cannon. I think it's all right. I think he has a below average arm.
So do I, actually.
I think it's super borderline. Like it's really not great, especially, and you notice it. Like I think any NFL quarterback can 3-5 step drop, hit the back foot, and unload 55 yards downfield or whatever. Those aren't the throws I'm talking about. I'm talking about stuff when he's on the run. I think there's a real noticeable lack of velocity at times when he's on the run and can't step into a throw fully. So.
Yeah, I think the comparison goes deeper. Like, I think it's they're similar size. I think they're similar athletes. Like, Geno's not a world-class athlete, but like maybe he'll pick up I think he had like his longest run of his career this past year. But I think they're similar athletes. They had the same like negatives coming out, even like didn't deal well with pressure, was kind of erratic as passer. Same like offensive system almost coming back in from college. So I feel like they'll have like even the same struggles coming into the NFL too, with overhyped expectations and stuff. So I feel like I could see the same career arc for him. Like coming in, expectations are high. Maybe he doesn't hit those expectations, has to take a humble back seat, and comes back maybe stronger down the line. Because I think there is things to like from there, but I don't know how much I believe in him coming in and like lighting the world on fire in year one.
I think that's excellent analysis by Corey. I just wanted to say that Kenneth Grant had the worst suit I've seen so far for tonight. So stock down Kenneth Grant.
I do want to ask you guys at some point about who any of the outfits that have stood out for you guys. But alas, Colt's pick is in now. We'll see what
you're right. It's got to be Warren, right? It's got to be Warren.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay, it is.
Jason asked if you have first pick in an NFL dynasty draft, what a choice are you making? I think it's got to be Ward, right? If it's a super flex.
If you're a super flex,
yeah.
In the rookie draft?
Yeah.
Genty. 101 in all formats.
I would not take Genty 101.
I wouldn't take Ward 101. Have you ever seen the Tennessee Titans play?
That's fair. I don't even think the Raiders are a good landing spot for Genty. We talked a little bit about that before you hopped on
here. With Pete Carroll and that his old Seattle offensive coordinator behind that line, I think that is an ideal landing spot for Ashton Genty. Dennis and I've talked about it a few times the last couple of weeks. And then all the mock drafts that we've done, all the rookie mocks we've done 6 or 7 over the last couple of months, he always goes 101. That would be my 101 in all formats.
Yeah, I'm taking
Ward. I would not even consider Ward. Yeah.
Do we want to talk Tyler Warren, who is going to the Indianapolis Colts?
It's an interesting landing spot because so many people there now between options, and then you're really
a lot of the same. I feel like a lot of the same kind of player too, just athletes.
Yeah.
I will say this though. I think the tight ends they bring in are just tall guys that don't know how to play. They don't move. I think Jelani, I can't remember his last name. Jelani Woods was like the most awkward move I've ever seen in the open field going into the draft. I don't think he ever really improved either. So is it just having tall guys, or just their defining trait is that they're tall and like that's it? I actually think Tyler Warren adds some skill to it. Yeah. So I think this also. I never thought much of Adonai Mitchell, so I think Adonai Mitchell's out too. So this is like Tyler Warren, Josh Downs, and Michael Pittman. This is a nice trio if they get like a quarterback, which they're not going to find this year. But this is a really nice trio for any type of skilled quarterback to make.
We talked about
Donai could take the next step too. Really, I mean, he could become a viable option at least, and they have a well-built offense. It all depends on how much of a step forward the quarterback position can take. I mean, whether that's, I think they're going to still give Anthony Richardson every shot here. I know a lot of people are starting to think, oh, Daniel Jones is real competition. I think obviously everything is gearing to that. Like, they just want Anthony Richardson to take that next step. And this is more like pressure. But where do you guys land on that? You think Daniel Jones actually has a chance to start from week 1 here with this team?
I think this is a pure competition. I don't lean either way. I think this is a real competition.
Interesting.
I don't think he'll start week 1, but I think it's kind of like what you said. They're trying to push Anthony Richardson. There has to be some questions about Daniel Jones too. He did not look great for the Giants last year.
Yeah.
It's not like that's a magic bullet that they acquired.
I mean, I guess you're hoping that a competition, quote unquote, or whatever, brings out the best in Anthony Richardson, right? I mean, I think that's the hope and a prayer, and otherwise you're kind of screwed. So yeah, Matt says I think Colts drafted Warren as a quarterback. They showed some clips of him. And another one of these guys, I think he's kind of there's a few of them here in the first couple of days that weren't rated that highly by the services coming out. So Warren, another guy, not top 20 by any of the services. And now a first round draft pick, which I think is always cool to see. All right, Falcons are on the clock. I wish we could get Colin to phone in to
maybe they'll take Shedeur Sanders.
That's what we talked about earlier. I said that same thing. Maybe they'll take him, and make it a real competition. They're really bleeding this out. Anybody think they make a trade here?
They just trade Kyle Pitts for a 5th round pick while they can.
I mean, you're hoping that someone
trading up for here, though.
You're hoping that someone comes up and tries to get a quarterback, right?
That's what you're thinking, yeah. Again, I don't know who behind him. I mean, Matt, what are your thoughts? Everybody right there behind him has a quarterback, so I don't know who's coming up.
The next one that needs a quarterback is what the Seahawks.
You'd have to have somebody like Cleveland or the Giants trading back in to get a quarterback. I don't really think any of the teams below them, other than Pittsburgh. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. They kind of just played themselves in the
if this is a Steelers trade up, you're gone. You're done for the night. So
the Steelers should not trade up. I mean, if something falls to them at 21, I could see them taking it. But why would they trade up for a quarterback?
Real quick,
I agree. I mean,
realistically, if the Steelers don't take him, do we get to boast again? We got a lot of crap when we talked about things about him being a 2nd-round quarterback. A lot of people, not saying, but saying things about us and our hate for Shedeur Sanders. That's not hate. We were just being realistic. We said from the beginning we thought he was a 2nd-round quarterback. I don't think there was anything wrong with that.
Dude, what about the crowd saying Jackson Dart is top 5? Corey, are you handing the blunt off to those people? What's going on?
What? Who? Jackson Dart? Is that what you said? Sorry?
Yeah, the people just calling Jackson Dart a top 5 pick.
I am one of the biggest Jackson Dart stands out there, and I said the top of his range should be like the back of round 1 if someone just wants to get that 5th round option or something. But I never thought top 5 would be an option for him. I thought that was crazy. That was awesome.
The Saints, who are quarterback desperate, didn't take somebody.
I mean, they're probably just banking on somebody sits there at the top of the 2nd, and if they need to, they can move up a couple of picks then at that point, right? That kind of seems like maybe their ideal, or maybe you sit there and Milrose there, or Shuck or whoever else.
Or maybe after they don't take a quarterback, Derek Carr's shoulder miraculously grows together because he had a Phoenix teardrop on it during the offseason.
Yeah.
Is anyone else watching NFL Network, or you guys all watching ESPN?
I'm watching ABC.
I'm watching ABC.
Okay. So they're just like showing the Falcons draft room, like all calm and collected talking, and there's like 40 seconds left, and they have yet to enter their pick yet. I'm just very curious if they
wait, we're on the clock.
It's because Kevin Costner's in his office calling it in. He wanted to do this one by himself. Once they have that winning tradition, they can do it as a group.
It's at 30 seconds now, and it is yet to say pick is in. So I'm just curious.
I think they've said in the past those aren't live shots though, right? Like sometimes they take time frames so that there isn't
there, but
that they change time frames so they're not tipping anything, like a pick is made or somebody on the phone or something.
What player was just in the helicopter for the armed forces one on ABC? Matt, who was that?
Genty was in one of them. I don't know.
Was that Genty? I thought it was Genty. They turned off the controls and you like touching everything. His side was definitely off. That's so funny. You're like a little kid. They're like, all right, you can pretend to fly.
Have you flown a helicopter before, Mike?
I've flown in one. It's terrible. It shakes a lot. It rattles. Like you kind of sit there like this is 21st century technology. Like we conquered like Iraq with this thing. It sucks. It sucks.
Shouldn't the Falcons take like a defensive player?
Also,
did you see who they took?
Very cool.
No.
I had a quick thought.
Pick is in, so
I was just thinking about what they did take a defensive player.
Quick thought.
Jalen Walker. That's what.
Oh wow.
That's what Twitter says.
I like.
Well, if that's true, he did have an F grade by most teams for character. So
yeah,
that's an interesting pick for Atlanta.
One of Mike's secret character sources. Interesting.
Somebody tweeted it actually. There was
Dad Jeans himself, Kirk Cousins, to just mentor him and mold him because he doesn't have anything else to do right now.
Kirk's coming to Pittsburgh.
Maybe.
Unless
to mentor Shedeur?
To give the Falcons the $40 million that they would need to cover his salary. Have you seen what the dead cap would be, even in a trade?
Yeah,
it would. No. He would. The owner of the Falcons would literally be like Joe Exotic, saying he was never going to financially recover.
Arthur Blank's got the money. He's fine. He'll sell a few more boards.
They're going to shutter half the Home Depots in the country to pay for Kirk Cousins' exit package.
Just in exchange, instead of giving him cash, just give Kirk some of the Home Depots.
Maybe if they could convince Chick-fil-A to be open on Sundays in the stadium, they could cover that gap.
That's just blasphemy. They can't do that. They can't do that. Quick thought here. I saw a commercial for Ozempic. Do you guys think Ozempic could have revived Eddie Lacy's career if they like lined up together?
I don't think Eddie Lacy cares.
This, but yeah.
Probably could have helped. I mean, any football player struggling weight has got to be on that, right? At this point,
I don't know.
I think if you lack that much effort, you're probably not playing football.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Those Eddie Lacy China food tweets are like legit top 5 athlete tweets of all time, right?
Yeah.
It was like every other week he's like going across the street for China food. Yeah, I love China food. It's just so funny. All right, the local kid going to Atlanta.
He knows where all the bars are at. Probably knows where all the speed traps are too at this point, right?
There's another big chain.
Who were Mike? Do you remember the other guys who had a F grade for character? I remember I saw the tweet that I think you're referencing. I know Isaiah Bond was one. I know Jalen Walker was one. Was there anybody else?
James Pierce was one, and then a few teams. It's not like super consensus, but Luther Burden.
I had read some of that too. Lack of effort, like entitled kid, because he was like a big stud at like a not huge program and like kind of like walked around like it a little bit.
Yeah, it's one of those kids that's like his interviews, like you like the confidence, but you gotta wonder if it's like the Jonte like Cook, where it's like, is it too much confidence? Like, is it we going arrogant here, or like what's going on? Because like I love the one quote. I don't remember who it was, but they asked him like the typical like, who do you mirror your game after? And he turned around and was like, no one. They should mirror their game after me. You know
who said that?
Like, Luther Burden.
Luther Burden.
Yeah, I was like, dude, what a baller! I love it. But, you know.
Wide receiver is the one position I'm okay with them being like that a little bit. It feels like they're all got a little bit of that in them nowadays.
Got to. What if Isaiah Bond turns into Stephon Diggs? Just falls, comes a stud.
I'm really failing to see a connection here.
Just the big character plus late draft capital plus being a star.
I mean, how much was Diggs?
Yeah.
How much did Diggs fall because of character stuff, and how much just he went to Maryland and they sucked? And
they constantly mention his character over the Vikings, right, Corey?
Say that again. Sorry.
Weren't they constantly talking about Stephon Diggs, like the character at the Vikings?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, he was out there, but
Have you ever seen that interview where they go around the locker room?
Yes, I was just going to mention it.
Who they wouldn't let their sister date, and they're all like Diggs. Like,
everybody said Stephon Diggs. Yeah, everybody said Stephon.
And then with the Diggs, he's like, they all said that I'm a great guy.
Yeah.
Why are they saying that?
I mean, all you gotta do is look at his career a little bit. He's definitely got a little bit of the diva to him. And there was an element that I thought that Minnesota did misuse him a little bit, especially when I saw, the way Buffalo was able to use him. They almost convert him to a deep threat in Minnesota a lot of the time. They just use him as like a shot guy, which is really weird. But I think you can tell just from his career that he's always had that like diva mentality follow him around quite a bit. I mean, he didn't even last long in Buffalo. I mean, he was best friends with Josh Allen apparently in that first year together, and just slowly trailed off to like nothing. So,
do you guys think Bond's even going to get drafted?
Bond? Yeah.
No, not tonight. I mean, in any
not
of
tonight.
the 3 days.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
me and Mike were.
I think he'll get drafted. Probably day 3.
Yeah, me and Mike have a bet on day 2.
Oh, sorry, round
3. And
sorry,
I picked.
I think he goes round 3.
I mean, did you read the text of the accusation against him?
I did.
Yeah, but he also just has so much raw
there's
talent.
There's not a single team that I think would touch that. I mean, we talked about it quite a bit in the C2C.
You're telling me the Chiefs
NFL Slack,
all characters,
and no one, mostly no one that I saw in there thought he was going to get drafted. PJ said he was trending toward not being drafted anyway because of his combine and stuff.
Can you share or in the private chat what this text message is?
I can try to find it. Somebody posted.
I don't know if we want to say it on air. That's what I'm saying.
It was really unambiguous, the act that he committed. The text of the lawyer. I'll text it to you, Matt, because I know I texted it to Dennis because we were talking about. We were wondering what the complaint was going to be, and when they unsealed the complaint, that would not be something I think an NFL team would take.
I think an NFL team that has a winning career would take a shot on him for the upside of the raw talent. I mean, I think the character stuff's kind of stupid nowadays, in a sense, because like you have guys constantly getting arrested, like Rashee Rice and all that stuff like that, and they just keep pushing it off. So if a team already is like has a winning record and they have like the setup for it, they'll say F it. We'll just give it a shot, see what happens with it. The Patriots did it with Kayshon Boutte on the low side. So I think Bond gets drafted. I don't think it's maybe a day 2, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Trevor's saying, I guess Daniel Jeremiah doesn't have getting drafted because of the last second character stuff. So
yeah, that guy had Jalen Hyatt wide receiver 1 year too. So whatever.
I just
only a couple years ago. You don't have to say 1 year. It was just a couple years ago. It's okay.
I just texted you the
Walter Nolan. Okay.
The chunk of the affidavit that they.
Okay. I'll look at it right here.
Worse than the Tyreek Hill stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
Think more along the Harvey Weinstein lines.
Okay.
And then his team responded by suing that woman and letting all 32 teams know they were suing her, which I think is actually a worse look for him.
I guess my bet against you is looking a little bit better, Mike.
Yikes.
Day 3 or bust. Day 3 or bust. I think the only point coming from that question is going to me, I think, now. That sounds good.
Defensive tackle for Arizona. This has been kind of a weak draft for fantasy relevant players so far. The landing spots not incredible.
Well, let me, Matt, because I don't know if Austin asked you, what are your thoughts on Travis Hunter? I mean, all of us have obviously been watching him for years and kind of talked about the cornerback, wide receiver stuff. I mean, from an NFL fantasy side of things, what are you guys thinking with Travis Hunter going? Not only just if you guys think he's going to play wide receiver, but obviously going to Jacksonville as well with washed up Trevor Lawrence.
I mean, I think he will play wide receiver for whatever team he was going to go to, but I think there were teams where they seemed to focus on him being a wide receiver more than others. I thought it was very telling the moment they announced him as the draft selection that the ESPN on ABC guys said, well, the Jaguars desperately need a cornerback. That gives me pause. You'd have to see what Liam Cohen's offense is going to be on the plus side, other than Brian Thomas Jr. They have no wide receivers, because I'm not a De'Ami Brown truther like some of the people I've seen who said he's going to go for 800 yards and 6 touchdowns this season. And I also believe that Gabe Davis is on the Cole Kmet. I will show up 2 or 3 times a year, despite the fact that I'm on the field for 17 games. So they don't have much in the way of wide receivers. Lawrence is a question. That offense and Brian Thomas Jr. looked better when Mac Jones was their quarterback. If you looked at their numbers and you looked at their stats, that's kind of a scary prospect. I know it's a different quarterback or different coach now, but I don't know that that's an incredibly ideal landing spot for Travis Hunter. It also, I still would take him in the first round of a rookie draft, but you have to be a little concerned because what he's trying to do, no one has done. We've had guys that, Charles Woodson took occasional passing routes. Deion Sanders took occasional passing routes, but they didn't play wide receiver full time. And we haven't really seen a wide receiver play defense full time. And it certainly sounded like the Jacksonville is hurting worse on defense. So does he get pulled one way or the other?
So I mean, where would you be willing to take him in a not a startup draft, like a rookie draft right now? Because again, I mean, we've got, if you consider him an offensive player, we've had 3 offensive players off the board at the moment. Like, this has not been a very, as you mentioned, fantasy relevant 4. Who's the 4th, 5th, 6th? Oh, tight ends don't matter.
2 tight ends,
just like in college
2
football.
Receivers, a quarterback, and a running back.
Wait, who's the other wide receiver? Oh yeah, I forgot about Ted.
I have consistently had him, in the top 5, and that's where I would probably still take him. I want to see where some of these running backs land, because there are more attractive landing spots than others. And I noticed we just did 2 mock drafts last weekend, one in a single quarterback and one in a super flex, to see where people were thinking. It certainly seemed like people were pre-draft taking 3 running backs ahead of almost everything. In the super flex one, we did 2 running backs went, and then Ward went 3rd. And then people looked at wide receivers. I don't know how much where they land in the draft will matter, but there seems to be a lot of interest in the running backs. We'll have to see where other receivers go. I don't think it's the worst spot for Hunter, but it does give me pause that the first thing that they were talking about on the telecast was how bad the corners are for Jacksonville, when some of the other places they were talking about him going, they were definitely talking about him more as being a wide receiver first. And that would make a big difference, I think. If he's their, 3rd down wide receiver, you're not probably going to get enough volume to make a good difference. And if you blow a top 5 rookie draft pick, it's like the people that jumped up and took Jonathan Brooks last year at 3 or 4 because they needed a running back, and they probably won't see him play for 2 years.
Shador's not at the draft, is he?
No, he's.
Yeah, they're just showing him on the.
They wouldn't let Shiloh in, so they had to make a decision.
It's in Canton, Texas.
It's interesting here. They had talked about for a while that both Hunter and Shedeur Sanders would be at a private Colorado University draft party. So I guess
Shiloh couldn't be a guest on the couch, like he couldn't see him back.
Shador's in Texas, apparently. They said that their draft party's in Canton, Texas on NFL Network. I didn't even realize
maybe they gave up after they retired their jerseys. They didn't need to stay there.
Not much.
So and I mean, everybody can answer this. If you guys are in, I'm still in 2, or probably more than that, probably like 4 dynasty leagues. So would you guys just completely pass on Hunter now? Because realistically, most rookie drafts will kick off by probably next week, right? The week after. A lot of people try to kick those off early. We probably won't know if Hunter's going to be playing more defense and offense until rookie camps are over with. So are you willing to take that shot? I mean, Austin, I know in the past you've said before, if he just focused on wide receiver, you thought he could be one of the best, wide receivers in college football a couple of years ago. I mean, would you be willing to take a shot on him? Bengals pick is in, by the way.
Probably not. I mean, what pick are we talking about? 102, 103?
No, Matt said probably around the 5-6 mark. I mean, again, we've had you know 5, as he mentioned, 5 or 6 offensive players off the board right now. So if we're just going with who's off the board, I mean,
5, 6. I think I would think about it.
I was in the 6th slot in the Superflex mock that we did the last one, and he was still there at 6. So I took him because 3 running backs, a quarterback, and McMillan and a tight end had gone off the board.
I'm interested to see one guy that I think I'd be really willing to be aggressive on in rookie drafts, depending on landing spot here, is Egbuka.
Yeah.
If he goes to a really good spot, I would be fine being just really, like, potentially even being like the top receiver off the board for me if it's like a first round pick and he goes somewhere decent.
What would be that spot for you?
There's a spot coming up I would love for him to go to.
Yeah, it's a good question. I'm trying to think about the teams remaining. I mean, I don't think like the Chiefs would take him or anything.
The Rams.
Obviously.
They have Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams now.
Yeah, I forgot they brought in Adams. That's right.
You might not
coming up.
That would be kind of like JSN. You'd probably have to take a hit year 1 and hope that those guys
would
Chargers?
Chargers wouldn't be bad because it's outside of Lad McConkey, unless you believe in Mike Williams' resurgence, which you saw him last year, so you probably don't.
Yeah, they have nothing else. I mean, that would kind of be the big one. What's Houston looking like?
That's what I'm going to say. Houston.
Green Bay
talked about it. Then they got Collins, and they're hoping. I don't think Tank Dell's going to play it all this year.
Houston traded for Christian Kirk. They have Christian
Kirk. Egbuka's better than Christian Kirk, though. We'll have to worry about
he is, but.
I mean, if you take a first-round pick on Egbuka, I imagine he's going to play somewhat. I mean, I do think he's better than Kirk.
Even if they took him at Houston, I don't think Tank Dell is going to play in 25.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what.
So you would still in a 3 wide receiver set.
You've got the Buckeye to Buckeye, Stroud connection to Egbuka. I wouldn't mind that at all, actually.
I think with the
Chargers. Like, I like the Chargers. I do, too. That was a really bad injury.
Houston's going to have to take offensive linemen, though, because the only good ones they had, they traded away, and they're also on the protection.
Just let Stroud keep running for his – just let him keep running for his life. He'll be all right.
Because that worked so well for last year.
Washington could go the Bears route and just load up on offense with Jane Daniels there. Get the young guy Egbuka in there. You got Terry McLaurin getting a little bit older. You got Debo in a sense, but you brought him in, but he's getting a little bit older too and nicked up. Maybe you just find a guy you're going to link up with Jane Daniels.
They have Luke McCaffrey.
Oh, okay. Sorry. All right. I take it back.
Third round pick.
Luke
McCaffrey.
I think that would be
I take
rough,
it back.
If they took Egbuka, that's another spot where it wouldn't be great for him in the first year because they just traded for Debo and they brought Zach Ertz back.
Well, like I said, the same thing with Bears. You're probably looking at a down year in the same way you looked at Rome Odunze a down year, the same way you looked at Jackson Smith-Njigba a down first year. But then you're probably playing for the next year. Well, we'll see what happens with Debo. We'll see what happens with McLaurin. Both are getting up there. I think it's probably more of a play for the long haul. But I still don't think, being linked up with Jane Daniels, I think that would interest me a little bit.
We don't think Jane Daniels was a 1-year thing.
Yeah. I hope we don't have another Robert Griffin for Washington.
As a Broncos fan, you think Bo Nix was a 1-year thing, or you think they keep it going?
I don't know. I think we don't have a professional general manager, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, I don't know who it was. Yes, Shamar Stewart's dad had a Thanos chain.
I was wondering who that. I'm trying to look. I'm like, what is he wearing on his chain?
Thanos.
Is it just like an action figure that was essentially like?
No, it's definitely studded.
Bedazzled?
It's studded.
What is it?
It's Thanos.
To answer your question,
Thanos.
I don't think Bo Nix will ever have a worse supporting cast than he did last year. So,
oh really?
I mean, I thought Denver was borderline gonna implode, because they couldn't. They had no picks. They had no draft, or they had no salary cap because of Russell Wilson, and they made a lot of magic happen. So,
Cortland Sutton made a lot of magic happen. It's my boy.
He's an incredible receiver. He just never.
Yes, he is.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
We're all in agreement.
One of us.
Well, Seahawks pick is in.
Could they go any? I don't think. Well, tight ends, all the good ones that you think could probably go this early off the board, unless you get some kind of sneaky Mason Taylor.
Harold Fannin.
Wide receiver, they're probably not going to.
Harold Fannon's career has been dead.
Harold
I don't know if
Fannin,
you heard
baby.
that, but
nope, they went guard.
A North Dakota State guard.
Yeah. This has been an exciting draft for fantasy. I mean, I don't know about you, but my point per block league is killing it right now.
At the same time, if we do get picks at the back half of this draft, it's to much more interesting teams if we get some offensive selections here between teams who are actually going to.
If people trade back in, because I think a lot of the teams at the back end need defensive players.
That's what I was about to say. I think the other part, I mean, sounds like we're going to be really busy tomorrow, which also might be more fun for fantasy because you're going to have teams probably moving around a little bit more, making trades. So we could see, that being a lot more fun overall for like some of the fantasy selections. All I know is we're 2 picks away from C2C melting down. So I'm just, I'm ready. I'm ready for this. I mean,
pressing the delete everything button.
There's going to be
the Broncos are
4 of us laughing.
Take a fantasy relevant player.
I mean,
4 of us will be laughing and 1 of us will be no. Shador won't go to Denver. I don't know that Matt would melt down anyways, but if Shador goes to Pittsburgh, would you?
The F I wouldn't.
Quick question. Omari Hampton's very.
I didn't want to watch him when he played college here.
That's true.
Omari Hampton's often mock draft to the Broncos. We think that's feasible. Like, we don't think it's real at this point, right? We don't think that's real with a Mecca on the board. You do?
Denver should not be taking a wide receiver. They should 100% take a running back.
First round running back, though?
Right now, our starting running back is Audric Estime. So let me ask you that question again.
Is that who you would prefer them take as Omari and Hampton?
I think so. I mean, they need to take a running back because all last year, everything they talked about was we have no running game and that's killing us. And that was 100% true. Jalen McLaughlin runs okay, can't catch, can't block. Audric Estime is an okay goal line running back, but they have those 2 and Tyler Beatty are currently the running backs on the roster. They wanted Aaron Jones, and he went back to Minnesota. We should be taking a running back. I think we're okay at wide receiver. I love Cortland Sutton. I thought Marvin Mims started to look a lot better at the end of last year. I like Devon Vele. They got a tight end in Evan Ingram. I think Troy Franklin started to pick it up a little bit at the end of the year, started to figure some things out, had great play in the playoff game, was the only one to score a touchdown for us against the Bills. They need to fix the running game or they're not going to do anything.
I think it brings up an interesting conversation about this class in general. I think we can all agree. I mean, me and Mike were talking about film grades in our last podcast this week, and we were saying we've graded probably the most day 2 running backs that we have in the past. I don't know, since maybe 2020, maybe a little bit before that. But so what's your philosophy on it? Would it be, since there's so many of them, you can wait? Or with the ambiguity of this class, you just go and take that premium position early, like Denver here at 20. But like I'm kind of on the other side. I'm like, why take the guy this early when you can probably get a pretty decent guy in the second round that's going to be able to supply? Like, is Omari and Hampton the game changer here at 20 compared to somebody that you can get in the second round or even the third round?
I'm gonna need another drink for this.
I just think their running back room is so poor and it's so important to what they need to do that if they would have gotten somebody in free agency, they kicked the tires, they tried to make a run at a couple and nothing worked out for them. If the choice, which is what it seems like, the 3 things that they seem to be looking at for the first round were a wide receiver, a tight end, or a running back. At this point in time, if they take a tight end, I might have to excuse myself for a few minutes and cry somewhere. If we take a wide receiver, I will just be frustrated.
Yeah.
But, and what if you wait? We're pick 20, so we're not at the top of the second or third round. And if you see a whole run on players earlier in the round, I mean, like Cleveland, similarly, they have Jerome Ford and Pierre Strong. That is the only 2 running backs they have under contract. They are certainly taking someone, even if they do end up relenting and signing Nick Chubb back. I think they still have to take someone because in all the years we've watched them, Kevin Stefanski wants to run the ball, and you're not power running with that platoon right now.
But
There are teams that will take. Chicago wants a running back. Ben Johnson has talked about wanting to take it. They're going to be in the top half of the draw in the second round. So if you're in a place which Denver is, where your prospect is starting Audric Estime or getting a Marion Hampton, which would you go for?
Yeah, I think it's fair enough. And even when I'm looking at Denver's draft,
this pick is not good for us, Corey. This pick is not good for us.
Oh, okay.
But I see that. I really need a drink. Actually, now I actually need one.
You didn't get. You still didn't get your drink.
Wait.
Oh no!
No, he's been.
Oh, I saw the Buccaneers
pick.
Yeah.
Who'd they take? Just
Buka.
Oh. They're just loading up on this archetype. I mean, literally, I compared Jalen McMillan to Godwin, and I compared Emeka Egbuka to Godwin, and now they got. Oh my God, they're just gonna load up on this type of archetype, I guess. Man.
I think they're just gonna run the run and shoot offense. This is what they watched some Houston or they watched some Atlanta Falcons tape from the '90s, and they were like, you know what? Darn it,
that I don't get.
No one's doing it. Well, this is Mike Evans is in the last year of his deal, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Godwin's not coming back. Godwin's done, right?
Godwin,
he's
signed a 3-year big money extension.
3 years.
Oh, I did not see that.
He actually started the year on fire last year too. Like he was doing really well in this connection with Baker.
This is really not great for Jalen McMillan because it looked like he might be in second year breakout, and now
pouring out for Colin Decker real quick.
Yeah, that's honestly too bad. I mean, you're probably looking at it. That's your starting trio next year.
Well, I think Denver's certainly taking a running back now.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think they kind of have to. You made a good point about Cleveland and Chicago, and Cleveland will be – I would bet Cleveland probably takes because they got the first pick in the second round, right? So they may just –
Well, and, Austin's team
running back right
there to take a running back at some point. I know
Austin's team.
Warren
Pittsburgh's taking Shedeur Sanders, Matt. We are speaking this into existence. We are going to make this happen.
Stop
We're
it.
One pick away.
Stop it.
Do you have the Shedeur Sanders in a Pittsburgh uniform graphic that we can put up there?
I don't, but if I will reach out to someone really quick, I'll pay the money to have someone make one real quick for me. I'm excited for this.
But look, they're talking about on the thing that Emeka Egbuka played cornerback in high school too. So maybe Tampa Bay needed a corner.
Oh.
I'm looking it up right now. No, how has nobody made an edit that I can find on Google that quickly?
Well, they did talk nicely about him after he visited Pittsburgh. So,
golly, man.
Austin, would you still be the same level of upset considering they didn't have to trade up for him? It just dropped to them.
I mean, would I be less upset if they wasted the pick by trading, or like more upset if they traded up to waste the pick versus just sitting still and wasting the pick? Yeah, I mean, I guess so. But I don't like the pick. I think it's just a forced pick.
So you had talked about if Egbuka went to the right spot, you could see him being your wide receiver one. You can't feel great about this landing spot, not because they're a bad offense, but just because they're so crowded in the passing game now.
If I had a better understanding of what their plans are beyond next year for Evans and Godwin, I would actually just love this because they're going to let Baker uncork it a bajillion times every year, no matter what. So, like from that perspective, I do like that spot. Not as much as not the best, but I don't think it's bad.
Mike Evans' contract expires after this season, so he would be a free agent. Chris Godwin, they just re-signed to a new 3-year deal, so it's possible that Emeka Egbuka is still in the kind of JSN year 1 hit, but year 2 has a chance to.
Yeah, it's the same similar situation I was talking about if he had gone to Washington in a sense. You're loaded with 2 guys, but they are approaching that age cliff, especially Evans, who will probably be out the door next year. And you're probably looking at a year 2 boost for Egbuka. I think we hit it on the head with that just kind of kills the hope for Jalen McMillan a little bit.
Yeah, that's a real bummer because he looked really good to end last year, and I had some hope that he could slide into wide receiver too. And when they day 1 brought Godwin back on that big money deal, that kind of hurt. But this hurts even more. Maybe he's a trade candidate.
By the way, not sure if he's still watching. He commented earlier. This just so you know, 4th straight year. Ryan Day / Brian Hartline has put a wide receiver in the first round. All that talk a couple years ago about Minnesota getting a couple, whatever it was, because he had whatever that dude's name was. I forgot. Never really panned out to be anything. No, not Bateman and PJ Fleck before. What was it? Western Michigan. No, Western Michigan's guy.
We just literally named the 3 wide receivers he put in the NFL all back to back.
Yeah, he put someone before Minnesota in as well.
Corey Davis. That's what I said.
Oh, I didn't hear you say Corey Davis. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, just saying. But no, Tyler Johnson didn't go first round. Bateman did though.
No, I thought you were just talking about Minnesota wide receivers. I didn't.
I gotcha. Got about a minute left, Matt. Feeling good? No. If you get Amari in Hampton, you could be happy, right? Like I don't think it's a bad pick.
No, I don't think it's a bad.
I mean, we got to do something for. They've got to do something for the running game, and there really aren't any free agents. I mean, people are like, if we're talking about how they should give $12 million to J.K. Dobbins. No, I'd rather take a running back.
They're saying one of Seattle's guys might be on the block too, between either KW3 or Charbonnet, if somebody wants to take a peek in there at something.
Yeah, I mean, Denver could take. I mean, they could go way off the board. I was trying to think. They did defense in the in free agency. We got a linebacker. We got a safety. They're pretty good on corners. I mean, they could take a pass rusher, I guess. They could take a right tackle. I just think running backs probably.
Yeah. I mean, to your credit, I'm looking it up right now, like team needs, Denver, like selections, and like the first 3 things in every spot is like running back, wide receiver, tight end, running back, tight end, wide receiver. Like it's like, so they clearly feel like they're in a pretty good position otherwise on their roster to maybe make a luxury pick like this. I mean, between the players they're looking at, the visits they're bringing in, like it seems like they feel okay with spending a premium pick here on a skill position.
Well, and I think the reason they went and gave a deal to Evan Ingram was that they suspected they couldn't get Warren or Loveland where they were, and they didn't want to try to go up, which is why there was a lot of talk before free agency that they were heavily targeting Aaron Jones, and they admitted that they were targeting that. And when he went back to Minnesota, I figured that they were probably going to pivot and try to fill other needs. And looking strategically, like if going into the offseason, what were the biggest areas of need? A safety. They went and signed the guy that I'll never be able to pronounce his name from San Francisco. They went and got Dre Greenlaw to give them another linebacker. They got Evan Ingram at tight end. They've signed a couple other places, but running back, they let Javonte walk and have not brought anyone in. That just makes me think that that's probably where they're going.
Oh, they're walking to the stage now. I haven't seen it on Twitter, so do you want us to spoil it for you, Matt, or do you want to wait?
Oh, I don't care.
Team? Okay. I haven't seen it, so
I can go look because I follow all the let's see. Oh my god.
Oh no, that's not good. That's not good.
Well, my guess is we're not going to be talking about Amari Hampton.
No.
They took cornerback Barron.
Okay. Oh, they took Barron. Okay. Oh, it was 4 picks away. I was hoping you might follow him in. We kind of need that hybrid a little bit next to a guy that can play that role a little bit next to Harrison.
Is this,
and someone who can double as a corner.
Is this the latest we've seen a corner go in recent memory for the draft?
We had one go second overall.
Oh yeah,
no,
yeah.
Latest,
I mean, if you think
latest, like, oh,
yeah, he's saying. I mean, I think overall, I think Mike's overall point is yes. I think you're right. Yes, that's probably the latest.
Yes, Audric Estime is going to start, and every week Sean Payton will begin his press conference by saying we need to run the ball better.
They could trade up in the second round. There's a decent amount of running backs in this class. I mean, look, you say that, but like, what happens if they end up with like Travion Henderson, Judkins, who are some of the other running backs? Like, there's
Do you think
there's players that
drop to the 20th pick of the second round?
They could trade up. That's what I said. They could trade. I think tomorrow we're going to see a lot of trades. We've seen one trade so far, 2 in the first round. Don't we typically get like 5?
Yeah,
I feel like someone else
traded. It actually is kind of crazy.
Yeah, so it's only been 1. Has it just been the Browns?
Yeah, it was just the Browns.
I think so. Yeah.
I feel like this draft is going by pretty quick too.
It is. It's actually flying for a first round. It feels like, anyway. Especially those first couple of picks were flying off the board there a little bit. But
here we go. Austin, look at Austin. Look at how scared Austin looks.
I was gonna decide if like they can get a guy up here to do Make-A-Wish stuff like during the draft. Like, I don't know.
It's gotta be a big wish. Very big wish.
There's gotta be more than just a handful of people that want to do that every year. How do they like choose?
I don't know about that. You ever seen Daniel Tosh's Make-A-Wish thing? His stand up on that?
Yeah, but it's been a very long time. But yes, I have seen it.
It's so funny. That's what it made me think of as soon as you said that.
Oh, in high school, they told me my celebrity lookalike was Daniel Tosh. So offended. So offended by
that. I don't think you look anything like Daniel Tosh.
Thank you. Thank you, Austin.
He's better looking.
That's why I FaceTimed you from the shower. That's why I did that earlier.
It's a true story. Mike FaceTimed me from the shower earlier to tell me he was going to be a minute or 2 late for the show.
Yeah,
and it had the weird camera angle from what I hear from Austin too. It was angled like this.
Oh, it was straight up and down. I got everything. I think Baby Billy.
Hey, Austin,
water skiing.
In the shower.
Mike in the shower.
I did ask, called him, and then dropped the phone on the ground. And I was so fast to pick it up. I mean, I was way faster than Audrey Estime at the 40. That's for sure.
I mean, it wasn't that fast apparently for what Austin. Yeah. So like I said, Austin was pretty flustered when he got on camera. I was like, oh, okay. I see what's going on here.
Shower was a little cold.
Mike got his drink. That's the real mystery here tonight.
5 minutes to go here.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Austin, realistically, let's take Shedeur off the table. What would you like your Steelers to do in this moment?
Derek Harmon, I think, is like the ideal pick right now. They've relied so much on Cam Hayward over the past 12 years or so, and it was really nice for the few years where we had Stephon Tuitt on the other side of the line to kind of take some pressure off of him. But Hayward is like 37 years old. They need to get a replacement for him here at some point. I think Harmon is more of a replacement for him than like a true nose in what the Steelers run. So he would be my pick.
Well, they made that pick semi quickly. It is in at the moment, so I guess we'll find out here fairly quickly how happy or upset Austin is going to be.
My Steelers fan buddy usually is looking for the picks real early, and I haven't heard from him yet. So either he's jumped off one of the many bridges here in town, or oh yes,
I saw it too.
Who is it?
It's Derek Harmon.
That's who we wanted.
Okay.
No way.
Harmon and Grant were the 2 guys that I wanted. So cool with that.
With that being said, does someone trade up?
I think Cleveland has 2 early seconds now. If they
do, yeah,
want to take the chance.
Was it the 1st and 5th? I think in the second round.
I don't know.
I mean, I know they've got the 1st. I'm saying.
Are Colorado fans seething online or what? Yeah, I'm a little bit enjoying that. I might just start searching on Colorado.
Watching the meltdown on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to bed midnight just to search on Colorado.
No, we're all stupid, not them. We are all stupid.
No, yeah, we're the stupid ones. Yeah,
it's us, bro.
I mean, there's still someone who could. Look, Cleveland. I'm looking at it right now. Round 2, Cleveland has the number 1 pick. Giants number 2. So I mean, either one of them could realistically trade up with those last couple picks to try and take Shedeur if they want to. But how insane would it be if they traded up and took Dart?
I think even with a back of first trade up, I still think that falls in line with what we've all kind of been saying for the longest time. That's still that's still that value, but you're just getting the fifth year, the extra year to maybe see if something can happen.
All those people who were, again, just like not saying it, but also trying to call us out, but not really actually calling us out, were saying that we were talking about he's a top 5 pick. Well, that went away a long time ago. And that's all the talk had been up until probably about this week, right? I mean, Mike, I know you were mentioning on Back to Debbie that there was a lot of rumors starting to come out recently that he would possibly fall, but all the talk from all these, I don't want to be mean, from a lot of people saying that, Shedeur was this great prospect and was going to be a top 5, no worse than top 10 pick. I mean,
he could still be a good NFL player for what it's worth.
I agree
that a top pick was.
It's a specific fit though, and there's not that many spots where he fits.
I think that's the thing though, right? I think a lot of people don't take what some of the things that we said about him, like the nuance of it. We said that he just didn't have the elite tool, like a Cam Ward with his escapability, to make him a top 10 pick. Like I said in my write-up of him, I think a couple of years ago in the supplemental draft pick, like I think he could be a good NFL quarterback, but he was not going to be this top 5, top 10 guy. And that's the problem I think I had with a lot of the draft coverage on him, was that they were saying he was locked in top 5. And then when we said things like, I consistently said I thought he was a second-round quarterback. That was just my opinion of him. And there was a lot of talk that there's just no way. We didn't know what we were talking about. So.
Real quick, though, Chargers, who I don't know how much we believe in the running backs for the first round, but I'll probably believe whenever running back the Chargers pick. I'll probably
say Najee.
Yeah, they brought in Najee.
The Chargers have Najee Harris.
He's trash. So anyway, anybody they draft,
Austin doesn't disagree with you. Trust me.
Yeah.
Anybody they drafted, he's not taking over the Gus Edwards role, so he's going to be left out. So whoever they draft, I'm in.
Do you think they're going to go running back here?
No, but I'm just saying it's possible.
I don't know. They showed all those pictures of Jim Harbaugh trying to recruit Najee Harris out of high school when he was at Michigan.
That's out of high school. It's out.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
How many of those opinions hang
The
around?
girls I'm hitting on from high school are the same girls I hit on as an adult. Like, it's just not.
No, you're not Jim Harbaugh though.
You're not Jim Harbaugh.
I'm not.
There we go. Yeah.
Oh, look at Bill Belichick. His taste changed pretty fast.
Did it?
Yeah,
though?
it did. Yeah, it did. Yeah.
I don't think
that. He's always been good at advanced scouting.
I would get myself in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There we go.
Bill Belichick, the developer.
Did they? That's right. They did announce. I don't think this could be any kind of fantasy relevant position for us, though. I mean, tight end is kind of a need, but I mean, your reach here probably for somebody.
Chargers could try to take a wide receiver because, again, Mike Williams.
Golden could be interesting here. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that they're going to do it, but
yeah, Golden could be interesting.
An interesting landing spot for him.
I'd love that for Golden.
Golden
Mini could probably be a
receiver 4 as a freshman in his class. That was higher than I remembered having him. I was like,
yeah,
we
liked him. We loved him. That was the thing.
I remember. Yeah. My top 3 I remember were not in any order. Can't remember the order, but I remember it was Burden, Golden, Bond. Those 3 were my top 3, and it was my first year doing freshman.
Bond, I think Bond was in my top 3 as well. I think Burden.
He was. I'm pretty sure he was in all of our top 3.
You guys all let him fall to like the 6th round in the league record draft, where I just scooped him right up.
No,
Bond?
That's me.
You're talking Golden or Bond?
Golden. You guys all let him fall. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Were you guys talking about? Had you got to move on to Bond? Sorry, I didn't realize.
No. He was in the group. You were right. He was in the group.
Yeah.
And then 4, I had Chris Marshall, I think, instead of Ted. So.
Marshall.
I mean, we've already established how low we had. We had good old Chet McMillan coming out of high school.
Yeah.
Applebee's deserves more respect. Shout out to the Applebee's commercial. My wife refuses to go there with me. I would love to go to Applebee's.
I haven't been doing Applebee's in
a decade. Forever.
The more and more you talk about your wife, the more and more I'm starting to like her more than you right now, Mike.
She's awesome. She's great. She's great.
So I had. Wait, where'd that go? Oh, I had Golden 5. I had Burden, Barry and Brown, Kion Grays, Shetron, Golden.
Oh, God, Grays. I forgot about Grays.
Yeah.
I agree up there too. Grays probably 4 or 5.
We all did. That's probably one of the big misses, unfortunately.
Then right behind them, Bond, Williams, Evans.
I didn't know it was injury like that. Yeah, I heard that. Sorry, that's my high school best friends in the chat. What's his photo?
Oh, yeah?
Julian, is that your high school girlfriend? Is the photo? Oh, it's not.
That's what I'm saying. Hey, Julian, Mike was talking about how he's hitting on these hotties back in high school. Is that true? Let us know in the chat.
No, it's not true. He knows it's not true. He knows it's not true. He knows.
Sorry.
Mike was so disappointed. Now he's like, "This is not true." Your boy came through for you. Look at that. You wouldn't have said anything. We would have, we would have just believed him.
Always.
We would have believed you.
Got your back.
I didn't have strict criteria in high school. Just was not strict.
Good to know.
You had to shave down the criteria when you got older. You got to get specifics.
No, it might be a little bit early here, but I would say one of the things that we talk about a lot is that Minnesota is looking for a trade down. They have like 4 picks in this draft in total. So this coming up here could be a spot if one of those teams like Cleveland or whatever want to look up, but it might be a little bit early. They might look more like the Buffalo KC area or whatever, something like that. They're just looking for that 5th year.
What did they spend all those picks on?
Sorry?
Where did all those picks go?
Yesterday or last year they traded up twice back into the first. Who did they grab again? I can't freaking remember.
That's terrible.
Why is it escaping my? I'm a bad NFL fan now. You guys have converted me completely.
Real quick, shout out to ABC for putting up Bill Yates top 5 instead of Mel Kiper.
It was Dallas Turner, right? Dallas Turner after McCarthy, obviously, but Dallas Turner they traded up for back into the first, so they spent like a bunch of picks this year and lost it.
They just showed Shadur. Okay, anyway, Field Yates top 5 left over had a lot of the character guys. Will Johnson's a guy that they're really worried about the injury for. And saying that they might have him drop out of the first round. Will Johnson, the corner out of Michigan, that was highly regarded early in the pre-draft cycle. Shadur is in there. Mike Green's considered small, but like really good. So I think this is actually a pretty good range for him here, back in the first. And then I can't remember what names he just flashed on the screen, but it was a lot of like guys that had first round talent, but red flags in their profile.
Apparently, Mel Kiper's losing his ish on TV about Shador still being there. So
no way. The guy who he talked about as his number 1 quarterback, I believe.
What if Mel Kiper got a GM job? Could be fun.
Jeez.
Would be fun.
How much do you think he makes?
Not too much. Yeah, too much.
James.
That's why we're co-hosts.
Yeah.
Are the Chargers going to time out and just pass?
No, it says pick is in, but they must just be behind.
My timer's still running on my screen.
Yeah, it's still running here too.
Mine shows the picks in.
2.
Yeah, mine shows the picks been in for about a minute now. So
they just showed it for me too after the clock went down. You think he lost?
What are we thinking for the Chargers?
Mason Taylor. Let me go hot take here.
Yeah, I could see it, but it's a spicy pick because they really need something in that position, and they'll use that
on the trenches. They'll take something on the trenches.
Yeah, it's Harbaugh.
Defensive line is typically their biggest need. You look around, tight end, cornerback, wide receiver.
Man, I don't care what happens the rest of the night. We didn't poopy bet at our pick, so.
It's insane.
What if they trade back in?
Yeah, it's still possible.
What do they give up? I don't. The problem is they'd have to give up next year's first because we don't have a second.
And you're so far in the second.
Trade JJ Watt or TJ Watt.
TJ Watt, yeah.
No.
If they traded TJ Watt to get the pick to acquire Shador Sanders, how would you feel?
Madder than I would have been the first time around.
Oh man,
what'd they do?
Who is it?
You want to know? You really want to know?
Yeah.
Just say, oh man, just say
Amari and Hampton. They take Amari and Hampton.
Oh, wow. Did they really?
Okay.
Yeah.
No, Najee's dead, I guess.
All right.
Najee died a long time ago.
Yeah, Najee's
how long was the Najee Harris contract anyways?
1 year.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, it's just a whatever. Yeah, that's not a bad landing spot. That's not a bad
landing spot. As me and Corey have pooped on Amari and Hampton, I'm in now. That's a great offense. That's a great running scheme. It's a great running scheme. Yeah, it is.
I wouldn't say we pooped on him either, though. I mean, we graded him pretty well. We were just pooping the idea of another first round running back because we
came around very late. We came in very late to him.
Yeah.
So
it's funny because he's the worst running back taken in the first round since Najee Harris. So get to put
true.
Them together.
That's true. That's true.
Oh man.
I'm not.
Well, I mean, what are we thinking now with Hampton? Go ahead, Mike. You said you think it's a good landing spot. Give us your thoughts.
Oh, I just think it's a great line. I would say a really good scheme. They made Austin Eckler be very good as a runner. They made J.K. Dobbins look really good. I think J.K. Dobbins underrated, but still, J.K. Dobbins look great over there. And I don't know. Amari Hampton's certainly got some good skill to him too. So I think they can do that old school football that Jim Harbaugh always said to run. So I think this is a great fit for them. He has that type of durability, strong workload.
Yeah, he's got a full skill set too, really, as like a runner. Like, I think if you want to squint a lot and take a look, I think there's shades of like a Josh Jacobs-esque player there. Between like what he can do as like just at least a dump off option as a receiving option, and even just like some of the light-footedness for someone who is a little bit bigger. Sometimes it's excessive footwork. That's one thing that me and Mike have talked about a little bit, that he moves. That's a little bit excessive. Wondering how much he can get away with that. Like one of the comparisons I always talk about is like David Montgomery. This was a guy who like really danced a lot, had like the high, like broke the record for missed forced tackles in college. You didn't see it translate as much. I know the athleticism level was a little bit lower, but he had to learn to just get downhill a little bit quicker. I wonder if that will be part of the transition a little bit for Amari Hampton as well. But I came around on him and I like him. He can do a lot. And I think it says a lot for a really like bad North Carolina team that you knew the game plan was going through Amari Hampton and they still couldn't stop him. So, I mean, I think that says a lot for him too, even just as a narrative thing.
To add to that too, the thing he doesn't do, he'll never win around the edge. There's no real like long speed to him, at least on the NFL level. So like he is an interior runner. And I think that's what the Chargers do very well. Mm-hmm. And Najee Harris isn't dead either. So Najee Harris is definitely dead. Najee Harris' career now goes into like solidified journeyman backup depth piece.
Oh, I thought you were going to go to a joke. You almost busted out on Back to Debbie there for a second there.
No.
We won't repeat that one.
No. But yeah, anyway, so good fit. Not an all-world talent, but this is a great fit.
Now, do we see another running back go? The only spot I could say is, like I love like the Henderson fit to like KC, because I think the way they've used like backs in the red zone and the like even like if they could have one back that could do it all, because they use like Jerick McKinnon as a receiving back, they use like Kareem Hunt as a receiving back in the end zone. If they could just have a guy who completely do everything, I wonder like what that could do to their offense, and adding some more pieces to that offense as well. That kind of took like a pretty big step back last year.
Let me ask you guys this too, real quick. Superflex rookie drafts 101 Cam. Does Amari Hampton like slide in behind like Travis and Ashton Genty at this point? Like, would you take him over Tet and Emeka?
I think about it. Yeah.
We didn't talk much about Tet's landing spot. Like, how are you guys feeling about him landing there with Carolina? Like, Bryce Young taking a little bit of a step down the back half last year. Do you think there's going to be enough volume there for him to succeed?
Bryce Young actually looked better to close the season. He struggled.
That's what I think I might have phrased it wrong. That's what I meant. Look stronger down the back half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and they needed more receivers because Adam Thielen's getting this fairly old. I thought that was a pretty solid landing spot.
Yeah, I think that's interesting for sure.
With Dave Canales.
What are the Packers going to do here? Some hyper-athletic guy on the defense side of the ball? Jihad Campbell?
What's that? Who's that guy? Emanawari or whatever? How you say his last name?
Oh, the safety from
South Carolina. Yeah, it feels like that type of pick.
I don't watch a lot of defensive guys, and certainly not critically, but I thought the hype around him was real weird.
Yeah, there was even like some comparisons where people start like I was watching somebody post on Twitter a comparison of like him and another corner who was like way less athletic or another safety guarding like the same route. And he was like, one of these guys is supposed to be a world-class athlete. One of them is supposed to be, and one of them was like a mediocre athlete. And like the other guy covered the route way better than Emmanuel Wari did. So it's just, it's one of these guys that are just these unrefined athletic beasts. That I think NFL teams hope that they can mold these guys though, right? Because like the upside is there if you feel like you can mold it. But some guys, I think you're just betting on a little too much.
Yeah, I think everyone thinks that some of these hybrid safety guys can be Derwin. And I don't know if people remember Derwin in college, but I can remember him lining up at edge multiple times and like blowing tackles up. Like it just a totally different level of power and ability around the line of scrimmage than some of these pretenders the past couple of years. Who Isaiah Simmons or whatever the kid out of Clemson a few years ago, and
top
this
7 pick or something.
Yeah, like it's just Derwin's kind of a one of one. I don't know that you can replicate that. It's a pretty good turnout. I wonder how many people they were expecting versus how many they've got.
It's Wisconsin. They got time.
I mean, it's got to be a little chilly there, especially now that the sun's down, right? Like,
I mean, they live in that environment in Austin. They live there year round.
It's not just people from Green Bay there.
There's some people from Minnesota. Corey's a Minnesota fan. If he came down from Canada, he'd be like, "This is nice." Right, Corey?
Shorts and a t-shirt weather.
Yeah,
it is. Like, Minnesota gets pretty cold too.
There's no space heaters out there for a reason.
I mean, it's the end of April. How cold do you think it is?
Yeah, Austin, wearing your hooded sweatshirt inside.
No, I mean in Green Bay. Yeah,
I'm looking up Green Bay weather. It's 50 degrees there right now.
Yeah, that's nice.
Cloudy.
That's nice.
Not terrible, but
it's not bad.
Oh, with alcohol, that's 60 degrees.
that's good weather. That's good alcohol weather.
Unless you're soft and came from California, Florida, or
There's
Georgia.
Dudes in shorts on the backstage. Let me point to it for Austin. Austin over there.
Yeah, I see that guy. I see that guy wearing the 10 jersey. Oh, all right.
To answer your question from before, Mike, in the mock drafts that we did last weekend, Hampton was already going 2 or 3, so I doubt that he would go any further down.
Corey and I could never do it that early.
I just think a lot of people that play predominantly NFL prize running backs above everything, because last year in a lot of even my dynasty leagues, Jonathan Brooks was going 103 or 104, even though that didn't make a lot of sense just because that was the running back you could get. Sometimes he and Benson would both be gone by 105.
Yeah, it's a pretty good point. I don't think I have a lot of Amari in Hampton, but I do think that's a good spot for him. Come on, the Packers pick has been in for like 10 minutes. Just spill the beans.
They have to show every resident of Green Bay before they can show the pick.
Are they worried they're not going to stretch this thing till midnight? Is that what we're worried about here?
It's because somebody on here said that they were making good time in the first round, so everything has gone to a screeching halt.
Damn it, Mike!
What?
You were the one that jinxed it earlier and said they were making good time, weren't you?
No, I didn't say that.
I think it was Corey, but he's not here to defend himself. So
damn it, Corey!
I was going to Packers pick. Actually, I have not been ruining for the internet for me.
I wonder if some of these teams didn't expect all these guys to be available, because the last couple of teams have really taken it all the way down to the wire before making their pick. We were seeing teams make picks, with 4, 5, or 6 minutes left.
I'm sure the internet spoiled it, but I actually think Luther Burden at the Packers would be a great fit.
Is that who they just took?
No, I don't know yet. I don't know, but I think that would be a great fit for them.
I just think it's a waste of resources.
What? Luther?
The Packers did take a wide receiver. They took Matthew Golden.
Why?
That's good. I mean, good for Golden. Good for Golden. No, sure. That's good for Golden. Like, look, that whole team's like built on like tier 2 and tier 3 wide. I'm gonna say tier 3. I don't think they're tier 2. The whole team has a bunch of tier 3 wide receivers. Christian Watson.
Jaden Reed's a tier 2 receiver.
Yeah, you're a Jaden Reed fan. But like Jaden Reed, Donovan Wicks, they're all very mediocre. I think Tucker Kraft's actually legit. But Matthew Golden, this team is like a legit bona fide wide receiver 1. So I'm actually super in.
I don't think he's an NFL alpha. I think he's way better as a
Do
wide
you think he's
receiver.
better than everybody else in that room though, or what?
I think he's comparable from a talent perspective to Jaden Reed.
The thing is, with Dubs being kind of a head case that has fought the team a few times and gotten suspended for behavior, and Christian Watson having apparently no soft tissue in his lower extremities, they probably needed another receiver to go with Reed.
I guess. I don't know.
I think it could be like a Terry McLaurin type wide receiver 1 for a team. That's what I feel like. I feel like his value will be at like the NFL level, because I don't know. There's more red flags to his profile than I think a lot of people care to admit. But I mean, I like him. The foundation is there between like the quick feet and the route running skills and like the hands. But he's had a bumpy career up till this point.
Oh, here's a questionable outfit choice. We finally got one here. Yeah.
I didn't
like this.
You said we finally got one. Did you guys see what Travis Hunter was wearing?
It seemed very him though. I don't know.
Yeah,
I didn't mind the pink.
Golden's got a G, but like I don't know what's going on in the front of the G, but it's very close to the Gatorade symbol, like the lightning bolt.
It looks like a star and something else. These chains are too. I wish they'd like pause and show us the chains on some of these guys.
Show us the chain game.
I feel like if you had a chain that said golden, it should have been gold.
You know, it's a good point.
His outfit's gold. He can't have too much. He had gold in his outfit.
Well,
this is another
mixed it.
This is another classic. We were higher than market on coming out of high school. You can see on the graphic here. Wide receiver 10 for us. Next closest wide receiver 25. Rivals, as you'll see on, I believe, all but one of the cards, is just way off on pretty much all these guys because they don't know what they're doing.
They had Shaz Preston last year one time. Remember that?
They're just, all their stuff is so bad. It's amazing. And they are one of the groups that's cozied up. Like, we're just going to tweet about Colorado and Shador and Dion all the time. No objectivity anymore. It's pretty embarrassing. But I don't know. This feels like a couple of good games at the end of the year got him here. I don't know. I don't like it. I think it's too early. I think he's a second round guy.
Yeah, I don't think you saw the 4.29 speed on tape or whatever he ran as well. Like I don't necessarily think I saw that. Although Quinn Ewers isn't the best.
Look at all this stuff was like scheme stuff. Like,
yeah.
Like very little of what they just showed there was him doing something.
Yeah. I'll say that his tape against Georgia is probably one of the more well-rounded tapes I watched this year from a wide receiver position. That was a really good game, but it's only one game. It's a small sample size. But I thought he played really well in that game. The stuff he was doing down the field, between like the routes he was doing in motion, winning off a press. Like I thought it was a really, really good game for him. And it's just like if you could get that consistently from him all the time, I think that's the upside that the NFL is chasing here, taking him at a pick like this.
They showed that clip from Florida and it was just busted coverage. That is terrible. They couldn't find something better than that. That
little like wheel that he ran. Was that against yeah?
Yeah, the two corners with like whoever the decoy was, both corners with a decoy, and he was wide open for the end zone catch. That was terrible. They just showed his stats of third in the season for SEC receiving. They played an extra 4 games. That's also bad.
Well, he didn't lead Texas in receiving, did he? So it was Bond.
No, it was him.
I think Golden did by the end of it, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. He wasn't the leader regular season, but he was end of season.
Okay.
Yeah, which is kind of unfair. They should do it like the NFL does it now. Now that they have their own postseason, they should do it where like your stats almost don't count past the regular season anymore.
We're still waiting on Luther here. Kind of wild. I can't wait to hear. You like? Do you think he's not? You don't think he's going the first anymore? Or what's up?
Oh, I don't know. I think it was skeptical enough all the way coming up to here. I think people have enough worries between like the immaturity, between some people think he's, are worried about if he can expand beyond the role that we saw at Mizzou, which expanded in year 2, but then kind of reverted back to it in year 3. But I mean, there's a lot of context here between quarterback play was really bad. Brady Cook was dealing with injuries. They had guys in and out of the lineup. Him himself left 3 games early. He was battling through injuries as well. So like, I think there's a lot of context there as well that like kind of maybe is making him a value, in my opinion, at the back end of the draft here. In the back end of the first, maybe early second here.
Great pick for the Vikings here.
Who do we take?
Donovan Jackson.
Oh, okay.
I like that. I like that a lot. I think he's a really good player.
This is where I go and look up everything about my pick now because
that's what I did. They're like, Mike's not talking shit about the pick. That's what I did. I was like, how short is his wingspan? How short is Will Campbell's wingspan actually? And I was like, all right.
Jackson's like a big, like a
mammoth.
I'm a fan.
Yeah, 6'4", 315. Part of that Ohio State run game, national championship team. Prototype with thick chest, broad hips. I like it.
No, it's not Kyrie Jackson.
Big butt.
Hey, that's you can't even say that. That's mean.
It's all about the haunches.
My guess is Shador's going. Giants just traded up.
There we go.
Oh,
Dart.
Wow, dude, I love the Giants in the same division with the Patriots.
Dart.
I would love it if it is Dart, but yeah, I'm seeing Giants are on the board next. I'm assuming they haven't announced a trade yet, but
it's big.
Who traded out here? Who was after the Vikings?
Houston.
Okay.
All I'll say is, even if it is Shador or Dart, I'm just glad Cleveland didn't trade up for Shador.
Who else are you trading up for though? Like I don't.
Dart.
Could be Dart.
No, that's what I'm saying. It has to be a quarterback though, right? Like,
yeah. They're definitely trading up for a quarterback, 100%.
Yeah.
Dart with his plus 800 odds for the first round or whatever it was. Closing. Oh, not plus minus 800. My bad. My bad. Other way. Minus 800.
How many quarterbacks did we say for the first round, Mike? Did we say we both said 3?
No. I think you were under. I think I said over.
I don't think I changed it. I think we left it.
No, yeah.
I changed it.
Corey said over. I don't remember him changing you by the end of the show to go back.
Yeah.
You peer pressured him into going over because he was clearly saying under to begin with.
I don't remember that way. So it's not like me.
Of course not. Of course you don't.
Yeah, there's no one else.
2.5. We both said over, Corey. We both said over.
Yeah, we both said over.
Thank God. Thank God. We both said under for running backs. I tried to pressure you to say over for that, by the way. So
I wanted to change one of those answers. I really did. I was thinking about it. I was like, well, go back at the end. I might change one of these answers, and I should have just done it. But I know I got you on Loveland. I got you on Shador, so that's 2 in my favor. I know for sure.
Wait, where's Loveland at?
No, but you said Tyler Warren was a top 10.
Loveland went early.
Yeah, no.
You did.
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
It was Loveland.
Oh, you already highlighted it? Or I think I did.
No, I didn't do nothing. I'm not looking at the sheet.
Okay. It's 2-1. It's 2-1.
Yeah.
Mike, did you ever get your drink?
Yeah.
Okay. I was worried. I'm glad that
Thank
you did.
Thank you. Wait, who was wide receiver 3, Corey?
Was it Golden? No, it was Igbuka.
It was Mecca,
You're
wasn't
right.
it?
Yeah, you got it.
Oh, we're tied 2-2. We're tied.
Are we calling
2-2.
Travis Hunter a wide receiver? So.
Yes, we are. We did. We clarified that in the podcast too.
I didn't listen to this week's episode yet. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's a banger though. It's a banger.
Yeah. It's one of those episodes now that's going to be like obsolete listening back to it now though because
I like listening to those in hindsight. I listen to all the best ball stuff like the week after, so I can be like, oh, that didn't work. That didn't work.
That's true.
I just want to throw this out there because I know you guys love to rank the Founders every once in a while. Austin has not listened to your show. I did the day that it dropped. I'm just letting you guys know.
I listen every week, just not always on Wednesday.
And what you win, Matt, is a guest spot on our next pod when we redo our rookie mock.
That's true, Matt. This is your notice.
That's your notice.
Expected to be here for the rookie mock draft we're doing.
Never mind. I didn't listen. I was.
What would you guys talk about on this week's show again? You're talking about the freshman guide, right?
Oh, it's Dart. It's Dart.
No,
Is it really Dart?
Dart.
Is it
Yes! Let's go.
Colin, if you're still watching, baby.
Let's go.
I don't think
Suck
there's
a dick,
three
Colorado
people
fans.
Hey.
higher on Jackson Dart than one Corey Pereira, Colin Decker, and Matt Bruning. And Jackson Dart is going, where'd he go? To the Giants. Wow.
Colin needs to make an appearance. Is he still hanging out in here? No, he's not.
He's rocking a baby to sleep.
He's rocking a baby
or something.
No, I
Oh,
can't
that's so
see it.
awesome.
I was about to tweet.
Real quick. Let me plug the Devi guide here real quick. Last year, Shadur Sanders, tier 4 wide quarterback. He was way deep in there. Jackson Dart, tier 3, very top of tier 3.
Yes.
Quarterback 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8 overall.
There has been a lot of talk the last week that Brian Dable liked Jackson Dart a lot, so it's not a huge shock that they would prefer him to Sanders.
Yep. I just want to say, always right, always early. New motto.
Yeah, there were
some
extended rumors on that they were upset that it got leaked today, that they like Dart a lot. So
well, they can suck it up. They got their guy anyway, so
that's awesome.
Okay.
Spill water under the bridge.
Jackson Dart, Malik Neighbors, Tyrone Tracy in the backfield. What else we got going on there? Theo Johnson at tight end, which I don't even know. That's
which of their quarterbacks gets cut because they have 4 on the roster now.
Who are the other ones?
Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, and Tommy DeVito.
I don't think it'd actually be that crazy to see if this was a Russell Wilson start. Obviously, right? And Jackson Dart's waiting.
It's possible.
Yeah, I don't think Jackson Dart starts week 1.
Yeah.
They got to cut Tommy.
Maybe it's like a mid-season switch or something.
Does he start by
Falcons
week
are on the
9?
clock. We got to trade. Falcons are on the clock.
They're coming up to take Sanders.
Oh, God. Colin, go back. Go to bed, Colin.
Do we think they're taking an edge or Malachi Starks?
Didn't they take an edge with their pick?
Yeah. Good point. They probably aren't taking edge. I don't know what they'd be trading up for. Jihad Campbell? Do they need linebacker?
They probably need everything a little bit on defense.
Yeah. New York top needs edge, quarterback, cornerback. They say is pretty high for them.
Oh my gosh, the Texans did not get that much back.
Anything?
They got a second and third round pick this year and a third round pick next year.
Oh.
The Texans are that fantasy football manager that doesn't know what they're doing.
Did you read that? You read that off? The second, the third?
A second, a third, and a third and 26. So, I mean, the Giants have a top of the second. So, but
that's not that far of a drop.
Dude, I love the Fields best available instead of Mel Kiper. I love it. This is great. Culture is changing. We're healing.
Man, Dart.
That's so sick. I cannot believe it. They just announced it.
Good for him, man. Good for him.
I'm gonna have to hit up Justin Gamble for getting at me on Twitter.
I had a Colorado fan in my DMs last year trying to bet me $1,000 that Dart was or that Shadur was gonna be a first round pick.
I mean, there's still picks left here.
Yeah, I know, but who goes to someone's DMs out for me $1,000 bets like that?
That's true.
Twitter.
Oh,
sounds like you're just poor.
That's what I told that guy. I said, "Shit, bro, you need rent? Like, I'll start a GoFundMe for you."
Jalen Hurts is their comparison for Dart on NFL Network. I don't know about
That's
that.
what I said. What? I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
That's a really bad comp. I don't know about that.
Did you see who Felix comped him to? The first mention of Jackson Dart in a guide of ours, because we did not have a freshman supplemental guide like when his rookie class or his freshman class came out. Did you see who Felix comped him to on the card here?
No.
Comped him to Cam Ward from like a downfield aggressiveness off script kind of stuff, which I thought was interesting as I was pulling it.
Yeah,
he's a Star Wars fan.
we didn't see. I mean, we talked a lot about it, obviously, with Ward's early career. We didn't see that a lot, really, until that second year at Washington State, and then him going to Miami when he really started to throw it deep.
Yeah, he was pretty reserved.
Yeah, the first year we were like, the first year we were a little concerned.
Even the second one, he kind of reverted back to it. I mean, that year at Miami was just huge all around for him.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah, I was always kind of playing around with, I don't know, there might be a little more athleticism there, obviously, but he kind of gives me like Derek Carr vibes, which I know some people are going to like, some people aren't going to like. I think he's a pretty good quarterback. Like, I think they could have like similar career paths too. Like I still, coming from that Ole Miss system, there's going to be a big transition there. Like maybe he never takes off to the full level of, like a top 5 quarterback at any point in fantasy or something like that. But I think he could flirt with like being a quarterback one.
Did you guys see what the Rams got? We ever read that off? Did I miss that?
No.
I didn't.
What did the Rams get?
So the Falcons got the 26th overall pick and a 3rd overall pick this year. The Rams get the 2nd round pick, number 46 overall. They get a 1st round next year and a 7th round pick this year.
Interesting.
Man, poor Houston over here is just looking like they got fleeced.
Well, that was not a good. I mean, 2nd and 3rd round in this draft and the 3rd round next year. That's like the trade that the Jaguars GM made in draft day.
Yeah.
Atlanta had already agreed to this like potential trade before that, and they saw that haul and they're like, oh shit, like we could have offered way less than that.
What did they give up to move in?
First next year, he said, what, a 2nd this year?
I'll read it again. Yeah, the 46 overall pick 2nd, a 1st next year, and a 7th round pick this year.
So 2nd and 7th this year, and 1st
and the
year.
Falcons also gave up their 3rd this year. Yeah. So 1st
Still,
and 3rd.
That's better than what Houston got.
Jeez.
Did they take Will Johnson here? Like DB?
I'm actually kind of surprised they haven't gone.
I think it's
trade
Jihad
for it,
Campbell.
I was saying Matt earlier that the word is that Will Johnson has very serious medical concerns.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Just from his injury toward the end of the year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To Will Johnson, you're talking about?
Yeah, Will Johnson. Yeah.
There was like athleticism concerns a little bit too with him, wasn't there? Like slightly.
I don't know about that.
Did he like duck all the testing or whatever? But he like did drills and everything at his like pro day. But he like ducked out all the testing, like hide from those rumors. I think that was him, anyways. But I could be mistaken.
I could see it being Darius Alexander here too. Oh, whoa!
Wow,
Atlanta messed up.
I saw it. No, I saw it too on my phone. I picked up my phone.
They just took James Pierce.
Wow.
They took both the F character grade guys.
They did. They don't care. They're looking for the value.
Well, there's an F in Falcons.
Yeah.
Can't spell Falcons without F.
So they just took 2 edges. They might. Yep. I guess maybe they view Jalen Walker as more of like a off ball. I don't know.
Damn.
I was really
you gotta have a screaming girl in the crowd, or else it's not a real crowd. Like you need to have one just shrieker in the back, James Pierce. Rumor has it is that he's the one. Oh, good question. I don't know. I always remember that 1st round bust I had like 2 years ago, like right away bust.
Oof. Oh, Rivals is tweeting about James Pierce.
They're showing a highlight of him sacking the UTEP quarterback.
Their edges were weak. Morgan Fox on one end is projected starter right now. Rook Orhororo. I don't even know who the heck that is. He's projected
Rook
starter.
Orhororo, bro. He was like a 2nd rounder last year, I think. He was highly regarded out of Clemson, right? Clemson?
David Onyemata. Would you guys believe David Onyemata is from my province in Canada? Manitoba.
Oh, I know.
Is that a lot? Is that a lot? Is that a big place? Is that a little place? I'm not.
Manitoba.
It's fairly decent. I don't know. We got an NHL team. Winnipeg. So I mean, we're up there. We're up there. But there's not many players that make it from here to like the NFL, so that's pretty crazy.
They keep showing highlights from the same G5 team they keep crushing for James Pierce.
Man, if he stayed another year, that could have been Malachi Nelson. Oof.
Probably not, though, which is even worse as another wolf.
No, he's going to be the starter this year.
Baltimore's on the clock. I would think Baltimore is very sharp drafters. I think best available is Mike Green.
Buffalo. What does Buffalo need right now? Even more wide receiver help after taking Keon Coleman last year.
Defensive line.
Oh, goodness.
They lost quite a few defenders as well. They need some defensive front help. But their wide receivers are sad. They signed Josh Palmer. That was their big free agent acquisition. Big. And they could be in the market for running back too because their relations with James Cook are really bad.
Yeah, I heard that too. Well, he wants a lot of money.
He didn't show up to OTAs, so
Jim Nagy.
Colin is very excited, PJ. He's celebrating in the Slack.
He is not excited.
Is he actually talking in the Slack?
Oh, my bad. I thought we were talking about the Dart pick. My bad.
I have behind the scenes access to Colin. He is not happy right now. So
okay. Gotcha.
And if he's not happy, I'm happy. What a night.
What a whirlwind for him. He rides the Jackson Dart wave and then comes crashing
right into that.
Yeah, right into that.
I sent out what I feel was a fairly mild tweet about Dart going ahead of Shedeur Sanders, and the first person to reply, and someone bookmarked it, and they let me know about it too.
Was it somebody we know? Is it just somebody else?
I have no. It looks like someone's burner account. No picture, random weird name on there. I'm an imbecile apparently. If you have eyes, you know what's going on here. Is pretty much what he said.
They're gonna play the race card probably.
That's 100% what, based on his retweets. I'm assuming he's playing. So,
it's an interesting question. Where do you think Jackson Dart will go now in Superflex rookie drafts?
He's a first rounder for sure.
I mean, what you're taking Ward, Genty, taking any of the wide receivers over him?
I would take Hunter and McMillan over him.
You mean Hunter? Hunter and Tet. I don't know. I might take Dart.
Hunter, Tet, Omarion maybe before Dart, or would you take Dart there?
Yeah.
If the Giants do not make the playoffs, they're changing coaches and general manager.
Yeah, but
which is a tough transitional situation. I don't think it's a guarantee that you see a ton of Dart this year, depending on how they feel like they're faring with their owner. They're lucky they came back after we all got to see them on Hard Knocks off season last year, because nobody looked like they were more out of their depth than that team of the Giants, getting to watch them week in, week out on TV.
Baltimore's pick is in. I don't know. I think the value.
Baltimore's always. I don't ever feel like they pick bad guys to hitch their wagon to.
No, so one thing that sucks about being the Browns in the AFC North is the Steelers and the Ravens typically knock that stuff out of the park. So and the Browns and Bengals usually fumble the bag quite often. So. The thing with Dart is, though, I mean, the QBs hold so much value that it's hard to take someone like Tet where I mean, sure, I guess it's an okay landing position. I don't know. Hampton, I guess, yeah. I don't know. I probably would lean Dart there as 3 behind Genty and Ward personally, but I don't think, taking some of those other players above them is a bad thing either.
As somebody that has a lot of picks, in the 6 to 10 range, I pray to God that a lot of people are like you, because that would be excellent for me.
What did this guy do to his belly that it's been waxed or something here at the Packers? Is it a heart?
He shaved something in it. I couldn't catch it.
Only in Green Bay. We wouldn't have gotten this if they kept us in New York. So
Oh wait, Corey, that's a quarterback drafted. We were together in that.
No, we're together now. Yeah, we're good.
Would it be funny if we're both wrong?
We might be at this point.
I think I was trending that way.
Well, you only have a couple more picks to get
Yeah.
a third quarterback, and unless somebody trades back in, you wouldn't.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, at this point, like who would it be? It'd be Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Why at this point? You've got the two second round picks. Chances are nobody's jumping ahead of you to come get a quarterback. Why not just wait? Unless you just really want that 5th-year option.
Someone get a screenshot of their board there. What do they got going on here?
I think
we're gonna get to see it.
The only one we're waiting for here, Mike, I think is wide receiver. I think you took over on 5.5, and I took under, and I think we're at 4.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, because I thought Luther was a lock, and then like there's gonna be some random guy in there, you know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this. I think Mike Green's a shock being available this late. So whoever's gonna get
Why
him
is that a shock?
I think he's really good. Mike Green?
Yes. Why do you think he's at Marshall?
Academics?
He got kicked out of Virginia.
I didn't know that. Hey, that's my bad. That's Austin's fault. You didn't tell me that sooner. Make me look stupid.
I know he's like I'm pretty sure some teams don't have him on their board at all either.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. So
Malachi Starks is a nice addition to that backfield.
It really is.
Kyle Hamilton,
it really is.
Nate Wiggins. It's nice.
This is super irrelevant, but the Barstool white versus black team, and they put Hamilton on the white team. They're like, he went to Notre Dame. So funny. So funny.
Well, here you go, Mike. I'm assuming you're talking about Green there.
Yeah, no, Austin said it too, so it tracks. But I appreciate you, Trevor. Also, cool fish. Everyone likes guys with fish in their photos. It's true. Girls don't like it, but other dudes like it. Like your photos.
Yeah.
Girls hate that stuff.
Wow, man, never mind.
The pick is in.
For who?
Watch
Detroit?
it be Mike Green.
Detroit. And Mike Green makes sense here because their edge got hurt.
I mean, is Green more of like a 3-4 guy or 4-3, or does it not matter? I know he's a little small. Tell us the Lions pick. Man, Starks is such a good pick. That's such a Ravens pick.
They're always smart drafters.
Yeah.
So reliable.
Maybe Detroit's going to go Michigan and go get Will Johnson here.
Do they need corners too?
They do. Not really.
Well, they lost somebody. Did the Patriots sign one from them? Is that what we signed? Signed a good one.
Yes, they did lose a corner. Go, come on.
Detroit.
That's who they lost.
Let's see, Lions. Relinquished. They lost Carlton Davis to the Patriots.
Yeah.
And Ifatu Melifonwu to the Dolphins, and Kendall Vidor to the Buccaneers. So 3 corners.
I would like to answer Trevor's question. You want to put it on the screen there?
Yeah.
I don't want to be in charge of clicking. Where are the best case scenarios for Trevion and Juggens to this point? I don't know. So speaking for myself, I don't think Trevion was a first round talent. I think he's very talented though. So I think he's a top 50 pick, like locked in. So first round is a little bit steep for me, but I think we see him early second round. Juggens, if you ignore his freshman year tape, I think he looks like a very ordinary, like power down back. So I think there's like some on the extreme side. I think there's some Isaiah Spiller to Juggens' game that makes it very scary to his translatable ability to the NFL. So I never thought he was a day one guy. So again, both those guys are day two watchers. I think Henderson is very safe for the second round, and I think Judkins has potential to fall to the third. I'm being too low on him, so I'm being a little bit drastic, but both those guys are day two picks, and I think Judkins is more of a third rounder. But name recognition and just hype, probably a second rounder, honestly. Anybody else have a take on Henderson and Judkins?
No, I still like Henderson a lot. Like he graded out as my running back too. I think, in this day and age where we were seeing a lot more split backfields, it's a similar conversation to the one we were having with Jeremiah Love when we had our Devy Guide ranking calls and running backs. And you're seeing guys like, James Cook, Bucky Irving, Jahmyr Gibbs, whoever the hell else you want to list off, or these more explosive complementary backs are earning such a big piece of the pie now that even if you think that he's more in that kind of mold, which I don't even think he's necessarily in that mold. This guy can pass protect. He's got the size, and he actually improved his power, I thought, a lot in the past year as well. He didn't play as soft as he did earlier in his career. So I actually think there's more there than people give him credit for. But even if he's just a part B of a backfield, I still think he's a fantasy viable asset. Like I think he's going to be explosive. There's going to be big plays, high efficiency player. Like I think he's going to be a really fun player at the next level. I'd be looking for him. I'm still even considering a back of first here if depending on what KC wants to do. That'd be the ideal spot here, I think, in a best case scenario. But if we're going into round two, then you start looking at guys at the top of the draft. Right, I don't know what Cleveland's going to do. What does Chicago want to do? Are you a bit redundant there though with Swift and Trevion? But yeah, I don't know. Top of the second round, I'm starting to look for those guys. And then Judkins, yeah, I do agree with Mike a little bit that he did. There's an underrated fall off to his career that I feel like a lot of people don't talk about. And a lot of people, he just went to Ohio State and split the backfield. And yeah, that's true. But like, still, the efficiency metrics have just kept falling and falling and falling, even well before this. So there's an element to it where, like, I hope that same Pryor's conversation, that we're not just holding our Pryors from that freshman season where he just kind of like blew us away. But yeah, I do like him a little bit more than Mike does. I've got him still as a top 6 running back in this class.
The Lions just took Tyleik Williams out of Ohio State, defensive lineman. Makes sense for them.
Yeah.
Need some help along that line there. They were pretty beat up.
Loading up that defensive line.
Yeah. Now the Commanders are up. So do we think that they go anything on the offensive side of the ball? I kind of doubt it.
No, I doubt it. I'm looking at Chiefs and Buffalo. I feel like the Chiefs always take an offensive guy here.
Chiefs are probably looking at offensive line if they can get one. Someone like Simmons, Connerly make a lot of sense for them if they're there.
I don't know. Aside from the Chiefs, if you're going to see one team take a swing at a running back at the end, it could be the Commanders because Brian Robinson's going into a contract year and Austin Eckler is not getting any younger.
He looked. He's toast. He was toast before he showed up.
Especially in that backfield, as like I was talking about with Henderson, like an explosive complement to that backfield because you kind of have some lethargic bodies running around there right now.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can make the same argument for them. You can make for Kansas City because Kansas City went and got Elijah Mitchell, re-signed Kareem Hunt. They still have Isaiah Pacheco. They signed somebody else too. I can't even remember, but none of them really scream long-term solution.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Man, getting close to the end of day one here.
I mean, this is the 3. These are the guys with I would assume feel the best in their rosters right now as contenders. Like if you're a team looking to trade up and get that 5th year, this is probably your last chance here in these last 3 picks. But I'm starting to lose faith that Shedeur is even going to be in the first round here.
Do you guys see Dion got community noted?
No, please
being
keep putting the company slack.
Dick with someone last year, and he said that he was going to go top 5. Shedeur was going to go top 5,
and they noted him. That's so funny.
Yeah.
I mean, he still could go top 5 in the second round. Maybe Dion didn't say what round.
It's true. Loophole.
is in for Washington.
Chop, chop.
I know these last few picks have taken an eternity.
I'm trying to stretch it out now. Trying to get their ad revenue in.
Do we think one more wide receiver creeps in here?
I don't know if ad revenue is helping them. It's 11:20 on the East Coast. You're out of the prime time window.
Buffalo, right?
Buffalo would be the only place you would assume.
For what? A wide receiver. I just don't see them doing it.
The only thing could be depending on if the Eagles are thinking AJ Brown is a trade piece. They want to get out of that. Maybe they go and get that third piece there for them. You know, like we've been talking about with the Jackson Smith and the whatever. You just grab that third wide receiver here at 32 with the expectation you're moving on from AJ Brown.
You're saying Jahan Dotson isn't that guy?
Yeah, I know. I don't think so.
I like how the Eagles had a game last year where both AJ Brown and Devonta Smith were out, and they still didn't throw the ball to Jahan Dotson after trading.
That's so bad.
That's a power move. They're like, we got Grant Calcaterra. We don't need Jahan Dotson.
Yeah. Yeah, I know there's been some speculation around AJ Brown. I know and of course last year this whole book on the sidelines thing and his whole rumors about him not being happy with his role and the volume. Like he could definitely be, yellow mustaching his way out of here sooner than later.
Winning a Super Bowl covers
mustaching. What's that mean? Is that a Canadian thing? What's up?
Antonio Brown.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was some sort of saying that I just wasn't aware of.
Yeah.
I'm Googling it to make sure it's not inappropriate, and I got to tell Corey.
No.
This guy's
I expect this from Mike. I don't expect this from you.
Antonio Brown essentially forcing his way out of.
Do you think the Commanders, their war room, is happy about the pick or happy that they stayed awake to make the pick?
Both. They made a good pick, by the way. I saw it.
Oh.
Going O-line. Connerly from Oregon. I like that pick for them.
It's a good pick. Makes sense.
Day 2 is really the more exciting stuff when we're talking about fantasy. Anyways, that's really where we're seeing a lot of the stuff. The guys we were more interested in seeing the landing spot because it's the guys we're not sure about. We kind of knew what was going to happen, not where they were going to go, but which guys were going to go at least in the first round.
It's definitely not as exciting as last year.
No. Yeah, it just feels like that kind of class. I mean, the longer I stare at this wide receiver class too, the more questions I have about it than I do answers in a sense about where guys fit and if any of these guys are more than just role players after these first few guys at the top.
Yo, the Mandalorian helmet from that dude from the Commanders, tight. That shit was tight. You guys saw it. The guy actually, that was cool.
Couldn't have put on something a little nicer than t-shirt and shorts for the draft, buddy.
Austin's such a front office guy.
It's a red flag.
Yeah, I like to point out I'm the only one who put on a Campus of Canton logo on today.
Wrong.
Guys.
I was prepared for the draft.
So. Fair enough.
You can't tell, dude. They got Patriot logos. You can't see it. It's just trust me.
Is that actually a Patriot shirt?
No.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say this is nice. It's a nice Patriot shirt.
It's golf clubs and little. I'll get to be close up there. Check it out.
Yeah. No.
I was gonna say it looks like a golf polo.
Yeah.
You're so preppy.
Yeah.
Wait, you're not the only one with the Campus to Canton logo. Austin's got one too.
Yeah, he pointed out.
That's what I said. Yeah, both of us. Mike just likes to rock those mediums. He's got the whole Michael Irvin.
It's a large. It's a large. Look, if you get to my size, you wear extra larges. They're like dresses, bro. They're just dresses on me. It's a trade-off. Went to Italy, and I got some shorts there. Lady came up. She's like, hey, what size? I'm like, I'm looking for larges. She's like, no. In Italy, you're XXL. And I was like, okay. All right. And she was right. She was that's right. I was XXL.
In Italian.
She looked at me and she said, damn, you got the wagon? I was like, I got the whole caboose back here. Call me Xavier Leggett.
You guys got a dump truck.
Yeah, he does. He can't run around because you hear him clapping whatever direction he's going.
We're getting off the
3 picks left. We're just gonna end this.
We're getting off the rails.
Ray Davis had an interesting tweet must be about the Bills pick.
Sorry,
eyeballs.
Running back Travion to replace James Cook. That would be fun.
That'd be interesting.
Devin Neal would be tight. Just saying.
Devin Neal.
I don't see what's so funny about that. Why are we laughing about that?
I mean, we all like Devin Neal. That would be wild. That'd be the craziest first round pick in like ever. Probably not ever.
It'd be up there.
Last 20 years. Yeah, probably.
Didn't the Raiders take a guy, bro? And that's so funny. I'm loving it.
Didn't the Raiders take a guy one year, like in the early 2000s? So like people thought they had him as like a 4th round guy or something like that coming into it, and they took him. Not like Hayward Bay or anything. I feel like, or maybe it was the Vikings. There was somebody who took a guy that was like not even expected to get drafted till day 3 in the first round.
There was definitely like three or 4 years ago that I'm pretty sure it was the Raiders that did that, if I'm not mistaken. And I know that I'm pretty sure the Patriots did that recently too, didn't they, Mike?
Yo, chill out, bro. Chill out.
Like super early, like a center or something a few years ago that wasn't expected to be like day 3.
No. People didn't like Brenton Strange as like a first rounder. I think so. I remember like the clip of McVay laughing, and they're like, and then it came out that the Rams had him as like Cole Strange like a late 3rd. Like had him a late 3rd, 4th round grade, and a lot of the teams did too.
Maybe that's the guy I was thinking of. Yeah,
he's only. I mean, it was 1 year. Was that just 2 years? Well, it's either 1 or 2 years. I think it might be 1, but he's still with the team. I think he did okay. Certainly wasn't a fire pick off the rip, so not a hit right away.
Make your prediction now. Which bad wide receiver does New England take with their early 2nd round pick?
I really do. I honestly God think it'll be Jalen Royals. Like, I really do.
Oh, that does feel like it.
It feels so much like us. Yeah, that just feels right. And I don't feel like my radar is ever off on the bad picks we make.
Savion Williams. We just need a guy that can do it all.
Yeah. Or nothing.
I don't know how ESPN does like their best available on like ESPN.com, because I know Kuiper is sitting there raving that he's like the highest rated quarterback and stuff, like, but they don't have Shedeur graded very highly. So I don't know if it combines like his with Matt Miller or whoever else. I
do wonder with like the NFL Network, like their grades they put on there. It's just Daniel Jeremiah. Like, like they roll with that. Like they can't go off that. That's either. I think they do. I'd be seething, bro. Like when he did Jalen Hyatt, wide receiver 1, I wouldn't talk about Jalen Hyatt the whole night. Then I would just I would just ignore the whole conversation about him.
Did he have it that entering the draft though? I was pretty sure he moved off of that before the start of the draft. Like I think early on he had it, but I swear he moved off of that before the draft actually came.
The guy calling the Bills pick has the same build-up speed as Audric Estime.
Same build-up speed as who?
Audric Estime.
I thought you were gonna say Katron Allen.
No, I didn't see it. Yeah. Hey, Austin, did you read my Katron Allen and Cedric Baxter?
You told me to as well. I forgot to go look. I forgot to go look.
Just wrote pure hate.
Start picking apart your guys'
profiles. I gotta do that still.
Did you see the quotes from Brian Dable when they just asked him about Jackson Dart? They're posting on Twitter.
What do you say?
What do you say? Yeah, fill us in.
He said Russell Wilson as our starting quarterback.
I'm not that surprised by it though.
He's Kentucky guy. We got a Kentucky guy going.
Maxwell Harrison.
Yeah.
Oh, character concern guy, by the way. Character concern guy.
Look, here's another Make-A-Wish pick.
He was in the green room. 4.28 he ran. Woo.
See how fast he can get out on stage.
His dad, though, showed up to the Senior Bowl and had like the whole like mural of Maxwell Harrison all over his chest and his like body. It was like he had like 8 separate, like it was a custom made shirt. It was clearly a custom made shirt.
I don't think it's going to take very long for a guy like maybe even Malik Neighbors halfway through the season to be clamoring for a change if the ball is not finding him, if Russell Wilson isn't getting the job done. He just doesn't seem like a guy who's going to be I don't know. Like, he's not a guy you're gonna like force to be in there. You know what I mean? If it starts tailing off by like midseason, I think you're gonna.
I just don't know why they felt like they needed to say who their starting quarterback was right now. Anyway, what does it matter?
Yeah,
it's April. Yeah. I'm guessing Ray Davis put the eyeballs on his. Didn't he go to Kentucky?
Yo, the Chiefs just traded their pick to Philadelphia.
One spot.
What?
The Eagles have given up a second and a third round pick and a third round pick in 26. Just
what Georgia player is available right now? What Georgia player is available?
Well, this is obviously somebody had to trade. Wanted to trade up.
That's got to be the highest rate.
You flip Georgia one spot, unless you were really worried that the Chiefs were going to take them, or somebody else was trying to come.
Or somebody else.
That's what I'm saying. They must have had some kind of thing that they were hearing somebody was going to come up.
I bet it's Darius Alexander. That's my guess.
Dude, okay. What does Philly need? Corner? No, they don't. Yeah, they need corner, kind of, but who would they wouldn't take any.
No, they just took 2 last year.
Oh yeah, you're right. But Darius Slay was still starting for them last year, wasn't he?
He was.
He was.
Yeah, Darius. Then you still got Campbell on the board, but they're not bad at linebacker.
I think it's either Alexander or if they go corner, then I think it's a kid from Florida State.
Yeah,
Azariah Thomas. Those are my guesses. He was
really good. He was really good at the Senior Bowl.
I wonder what they gave.
But his athletic testing was terrible, which will take him off a lot of boards.
Not Philly.
So it looks like Rappaport says Kansas City moved one spot with the Eagles and picked up a 5th round pick.
32 and 16.
Okay, I guess.
I guess they aren't moving back that far, but also not that much of an incentive.
Yeah, it's weird. You have to figure someone else was trying to move up, and the offer was probably better, unless they just really don't want to move down anymore if they have their eyes on somebody here. But they're worried it's picked up early. But
there you go. There's Maxwell's dad on TV.
So no Shedeur Sanders. I mean, it's locked, right? It's locked. There's no Shedeur.
Yeah, it's got to be locked now, unless people are calling KC right now. But I would assume.
Wow.
Or unless KC needs a new towel boy.
No one's calling KC. It's Dion calling people. Yeah.
But at this point in time, why would you? Other teams that potentially need a quarterback, like Cleveland, they're right at the top of the 2nd round.
The 5th year, I think, would be the only incentive. But yeah, I mean, I agree. If you don't care about it, then no need to move.
Well, obviously, Kansas City doesn't mind sliding back 1 pick for very little compensation, so I guess they could move off of the 1st pick of the 2nd round into 32.
I think the Chiefs are going to go offensive line.
Probably. We're all waiting here for something fun to happen, and nothing's going to happen.
I think they're going to take Josh Simmons.
They posted what the Eagles pick is. Did you guys see it?
No.
It's Jihad Campbell.
Oh, they took linebacker. Okay. Huh.
Linebacker 1.
They think the Chiefs were going to take him, or was somebody else trying to move up?
It had to be someone else to move up. Like it'll come out. There's no way this story doesn't come out after the draft.
Yeah, I don't see anybody.
All right, give us the Chiefs pick, and we're going to bed. See ya.
Yeah. Let me see, Corey. I gotta update the picks here. I gotta update the score.
Campbell's a bit undersized too. Yeah, go for it.
You went under, so it's 3-2, right? 3-2. Corey's winning on the 1st round wide receivers under 5.5. I got Genty going top 8 under. I got Emeka Egbuka wide receiver 3. You have Shedeur over top 15 and Tyler Warren over top 10. So 3-2, Corey.
Here we go, locking up another year.
Corey owns you, Mike. I mean, it's a fact. Everyone knows.
I don't think I don't know if everyone knows, but just some people.
Just some people.
Just some people.
I don't know. I didn't feel that good about this one. This one feels a little all over the place. I think the second run or day 2 is going to be wild.
Yeah, he's got me in the first half. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm. He had me in the first half of the combine one, and that one just flipped.
That was at the turnaround. Yeah, that was at the turnaround. From up 2 to like down by 3.
All right, let's hear predictions for the final pick, guys.
Travion Henderson. I'm just wishing at this point for something that we can talk about and something that's fun.
No, we're ending it. Literally, as soon as they make the pick, we're saying, "Oh, the pick was good night, everybody." So,
other than that, what's it going to be? Josh Simmons?
I think Simmons is my guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Simmons.
Tackle Ohio State.
Yeah, they let Thuney go, right? Thuney signed with the Bears this year.
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Patriots let him go. I'll never forget about that. It sucks for us.
Kind of behind on TV. They haven't even announced the Eagles pick, even though it's been.
No, they're just stretching.
Just trying to stretch it.
So
yeah,
just keeping up with mock draft database. They got all these right except for Trey Amos, the edge from Boston College, the corner from Eastern Carolina. Nick Scordon, they had a 32 overall, so he's falling. But otherwise, top 23, they got them all right.
That's pretty impressive. I mean, I know it's just like an aggregation of whatever, but that's still.
Yeah, and they do put a section on the bottom that says like players that they've missed. And even those guys, they got them all. Mason Graham, Mekhi Williams, Shamar Stewart, Matthew Golden, Tyler Booker, and Mecca. So even their honorable mentions got picked. So.
Wait, honestly, they didn't have Mason Graham in the top 20-something?
They had him 6 down here, but I don't understand their algorithm. I truly do not understand how their algorithm works. So like down below, they have him at 6 overall. They have Mekhi at 14, Shamar at 18, Golden at 19. I do not understand how the algorithm works. But anyway, I just want to say this too real quick about National Mock Draft Database. They're usually really good top 50. Like they kind of get those guys not in the right order, but it's usually pretty accurate in the day.
I'm actually surprised no one pulled the trigger on that Amanawari. I thought somebody was going to just over the athleticism.
Safeties though, first round, very rare.
It's true.
Very rare.
A lot of people had him high on their boards. Like Daniel Jeremiah had him like as a top 15 guy. I'm pretty sure.
The running back of the defense, he's just overvalued to get him cheaper.
Yeah. All I think about when I see is like Obi Melanfonwu, if you guys remember him from like years ago. That's when I actually used to watch him.
Yes.
Athletic kid, I went way higher than he should have.
I can't remember his name anymore, but the safety out of Miami, me and Barnabas had him like safety number 2 in our class, and then he went the 5th round. I mean, he was like,
I can't remember his name. Yeah, I know you're talking about though.
Yeah, he's with the Rams, but he had a really good rookie year. So I was like, we're right in the end.
Never wrong.
Yeah,
just early.
Yep.
You lose some battles early on the draft because everybody just takes it as, oh, well, this guy was drafted first, so he's better. Really got to wait a couple years, then get at me. Yeah. We're here to predict success, not draft capital.
So did everybody that was in the green room get drafted? I guess Jalen Milrose in there, huh? So.
Yeah, Milrose is back there.
Poor guy. Why did they invite that guy?
But they only invited. There are only like 16 people took, or 17 people took the
15 total that showed up, I believe.
15 total. That's even.
Yeah, Dar pulled out. But I think even the betting odds put Milroe like 50-50, like to get the first round. Like he was very like low odds. So at least he knew. Like at least they weren't like promising him or something like that. I don't know.
Will Johnson's there too.
Oh well, at least a couple guys keep each other company.
Oh, do you have a list? Do you have a list, Austin, on who's back there?
Yeah, Tyler Booker, Jihad Campbell, Will Campbell, Abdul Carter, Matthew Golden, Mason Graham, Maxwell Hairston, Travis Hunter, Ashton Genty, Will Johnson, Ted McMillan, Jalen Milroe, Malachi Stark, Shamar Stewart, and Cameron Ward. So all of them except for
2.
Milroe and Johnson.
That's funny.
Isn't that Milroe kind of a long shot for a first-round pick?
He was. I don't know if
The
he just
betting odds were
took it
like
in
plus
stride,
130.
maybe. I don't know.
The betting odds were plus 130, really close. So.
Maybe he just accepts it and he's like, they're inviting me. I'm going to go soak it in. Like maybe he's not going with any expectation that he was going to go on day one anyways. It's just like, I'm going to go love it up and walk the carpet.
Do you see this animation for Jihad Campbell with the vest with nothing underneath on it with his fro? He's just rubbing his hands. It's funny.
Oh, that says the Chiefs pick is in, so I'm saying you're right. They're taking the offensive line.
Yeah, anybody sees it, just go ahead and just announce it.
Yeah, we're gonna call it a night.
Brett McMurphy tweeted, "Weird stat. Shedeur Sanders is the first player in college football history to have his number retired and not be selected 5 days later in the NFL draft's first round."
They say Chiefs select offensive line Josh Simmons.
Oh, I called it.
Nice. I just got that too. I'll add to that. Only 1 sack allowed. Let me add to that.
Okay, tell us more.
That's probably Will Howard's mobility. It's not the offensive line play. It's actually Will Howard and his legs. He's so good. Expect him, guys, to be drafted day 2 tomorrow. We can catch all of us. We're starting at 8 p.m. again, just like tonight, on time, like we always are. Austin, get us out of here.
If you start at 8 p.m., you won't be on time because the draft starts at 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow.
7 p.m. I'm on a different time zone. I'm actually in the water right now. Austin, get us out of here.
All right, yeah, thanks for tuning in here tonight, guys. We'll be back tomorrow with day 2 of the NFL draft. From Matt, Corey, Mike, other Matt, good night.
Austin, get us out.